Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau.
Happy Thursday. Today's Thursday, right?
Yeah.
ESPN 690 Action Sports Jacks. Aaron Schachter hanging out with you guys. The Red Menace, Casey Kurtz on the 1 and 2s.
Let's go with you.
Wiki. How you doing, man?
Chilling, bro. Chilling. Excited for another day.
I was going to say Brent Martineau out in Hotlanta. Not sure what the weather's like over there. It was really rainy here a second ago, and now clear skies.
You'll love to see it.
Blue skies. It's always weird when that happens, right? It was like end of the world storms, black skies, lightning and thunder.
Really was.
The creek looked like it was overridden. Was waiting for the alligators to come up.
Amen.
And now it's like 94 degrees, 300% humidity.
Gotta love it.
Do you though?
Duval. If you're inside, you do. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're by the air conditioning, it's easy to love.
True.
If you're outside, it's kind of tough. Casey, you had a late night last night.
Yeah, man. I was up late exploring all the options Netflix has to offer.
This is your first foray into the world of Netflix, huh?
Yeah, haven't been on Netflix since the high school days when somebody was paying.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of crazy to never have Netflix, but I guess you had it before.
Oh yeah, I had it back in the day when Star Wars or the Clone Wars was on it. Now it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I mean I have no idea about the Clone Wars stuff.
Oh, it's a TV show that was on Cartoon Network.
I get it. It's a cartoon.
Animated. It was a world-class program. It was made for kids at first, and then they started really just slaughtering some of these Star Wars characters, and they decided to make it for adults now as a cartoon for adults. And it was really good. It ended abruptly, and then they finally brought back the final season on Disney Plus that we all needed. I had Disney Plus. I watched it. And yeah, that's the last time I had Netflix.
So you basically have all your streaming services with like stolen passwords. Am I getting this right?
I'm not going to confirm or deny. We're on the radio in Jacksonville, man. There's police riding around listening.
JSO, please don't bust Casey for his stolen passwords.
Come on now. They know where I park out here.
Netflix does say that they're going to start coming after people for sharing passwords. I'm kind of wondering how they're going to do that.
Me too.
They got a plan, though. You know they do. They spend billions on that thing. I thought it was interesting because so much good content has happened over the last few years on Netflix, especially since the pandemic. I mean, they really stepped up the amount of money they were throwing into that thing. And then obviously lost a ton of that money recently.
It is true. Yeah.
But there are a lot of good shows on there you probably haven't seen yet. Have you looked into any of these things?
No, all I did was go straight to Manti Te'o.
Yeah, you watched the documentary, huh?
I did.
Untold, the girlfriend who didn't exist?
She did not exist.
No, I mean, she technically did.
It's a wild story.
It just wasn't what Manti thought it was. We'll get into it in a second, but I'm glad you watched that because I remember when that story was out, I was fascinated. By the story. You were probably too young, though. How old were you?
No. Well, I didn't fully. How old was I? Is a good question. I was like 2012, so I was 15.
Yeah, okay,
So
you were old enough.
I didn't realize, like, we'll get into it, but I didn't fully realize the scope of it. Like, I was 15, so it was funny that she wasn't real.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that he was on, like, the Today Show and, like, the lead story for the national news. Like, I didn't know it took
And that's the thing about time and age giving you perspective, right? Like, when you're 15, you're watching that, it's all comedy to you. Like, it exists to entertain you. And,
yes.
And you know what? I shouldn't front. It's not like it's just for 15-year-olds. I was in my 20s, I think. Maybe even in my 30s. I forget what year it happened. I think it was 2012. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Huh. I was 32, I think. So
Holy cow.
I was in my 30s.
I was 15, dog.
I was in my 30s, but it was still like it only served as like entertainment for me. Forgetting for a second that like people's lives are like significantly affected.
Yeah, I didn't fully understand that until last night around 11 o'clock.
But before we get into the Manti doc, I just want to run a couple of these by you because there's some really good stuff on Netflix. And since you're new to it, I have a feeling you're going to be locked inside all weekend. I apologize, Amanda. You guys are going to be a little bit bored this weekend, just glued to Netflix.
What you got?
A couple of recommendations for you. Are you into the superhero stuff?
Love it.
All right. Umbrella Academy is a good TV show on there.
I've heard good things about that, but of course I couldn't watch it before.
Well, now you can. They developed it, I think, from the comic book, but I think you got 3 seasons there.
Get some pen and paper.
A big one over the pandemic. I don't know if you're into comedy specials.
Yeah, why not?
Bo Burnham's Inside.
I love Bo.
Bo is the man.
When I was in 5th grade, Bo used to make me laugh hysterically.
And I might be wrong about this, but I think he went to a Florida college. I'm going to have to double check on this. But in any case, Bo is hilarious, and that's where that Bezos song comes from that was all over TikTok.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the special it comes from.
Bo Burnham.
But Bo's got a ton of great stuff in there, and it's very unique, especially to the whole thing in his house, no audience, but it's just, it's weird and very funny. You're
Bo.
into sports docs. You watch the Manti Te'o doc.
I'm in. Yes.
Last Chance U is great. And they got a couple of versions. They got a football version and a basketball version. I loved, like passionately, deeply loved that basketball Last Chance U.
Somebody I know was on Last Chance U. I just
great.
don't remember who it was. Like, I guess I'll find out when I watch it. But somebody that, like, I know personally was on.
And Last Chance U was great, and the Manti Te'o documentary was great, but hands down, easily the winner. My favorite sports doc on Netflix is that Danbury Thrashers documentary.
Yeah, you told me.
This thing is so good as a documentary, it could have been scripted. Just the documentary. Sometimes you watch a documentary and you go, oh man, I can only imagine what the movie, how cool the movie will be or something like that.
Got
There you
my
go.
list.
You're running it down. I like that you're writing the list.
Yeah, man.
But that Danbury Thrashers one is amazing. Squid Game took the world by storm, obviously. If you haven't seen
Yeah.
Squid Game, where you been?
Haven't
Not
seen
into it?
We talked a lot about it last year when Austin was here. He was very hooked.
All right.
He
So
was very hooked.
are,
I'll put
are
it
you
down.
curious?
Here's the thing, man. I'm not going to lie to you. If it involves reading, like the subtitles.
You don't
it's-
have to. You could do the dubs. Sometimes people don't like the dubs because
Yeah,
it's bad
I don't want to
acting.
do the dubs. Like, I don't want the dubs, but I also don't want to read. Like, it's a problem.
It's a proud product of Palmetto High School right there.
Shout out to the 941, baby. Respect us. Respect us.
You don't want to read. You don't want to math. You just want to veg.
Hey. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Stranger Things, obviously very popular. I never really got into it.
Yeah.
Season 1 was great. I bailed on season 2. Never came back.
I'm okay.
You like mystery, murder mystery, crime, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, why not?
Mindhunter was great.
Mind Hunter.
Mindhunter is, I think, 2 seasons, maybe 3 seasons, but it was about basically how the FBI developed psychological profiling of serial killers. But it's a drama.
I like that.
Drama. Comedies, last couple ones here.
Yep.
You got Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, very funny. I don't know if you watched The Office,
Yeah.
but the secretary after Pam.
Yeah.
What was her name? Erin, maybe?
Her name was Erin in the show. Yeah. Her
Yeah.
real name is, what is her real name?
I forget. Ellie Kemper.
Ellie Kemper.
This show is very funny. It's like just straight up laughs. There's not much else to it.
Which, by the way, Ellie Kemper threw me off last night when I went on Netflix.
Because she was on there? Oh, because she's one of the icons?
She's one of the icons. And I literally thought it was the person whose name was the icon.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to incriminate anybody whose account I was on. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's... And then I was like, no, that's Aaron.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Huh? What?
It threw me off.
Oh. Orange is the New Black, very famous. It's done with. It's a female
Heard
jail.
about it.
It's pretty good. Amanda might like it. But I enjoyed it too. BoJack Horseman. I don't know how you are on animated shows, but this is an adult animated show with one of my favorite voice actors of all time, Will Arnett.
Is that the one? No, that's not the one.
It's also got, what's his name from Breaking Bad?
Oh, it is the one with Aaron Paul.
Yes, Aaron
Yeah,
Paul.
I like Aaron Paul.
Very funny show, BoJack Horseman. And then finally, my favorite show ever on Netflix, Ozark.
I've heard good things.
Ozark, Jason Bateman. Have a couple of other people in there whose names I'm forgetting, but basically, Jason Bateman lives in Chicago, gets caught up in the cartel, moves to the Ozark to launder money for them, and all hell breaks loose.
I like it. By the way, Delphonic in the chat says Formula One Drive to Survive is good.
Stop it, Delphonic.
Uh-oh.
Formula One documentaries. Come on.
I'll write it down.
What are you watching there, buddy? There's so much going on Netflix, and I'm sure, Delphonic, you got other streamers. You're relegating yourself to Formula One?
You just lost us a loyal viewer in Delphonic.
Well, Del should know better.
All right, I got my list.
All right. Well, now that we got that out of the way, can we get to the Manti Te'o stuff?
Yeah.
Because, and I was a little bit, I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit hesitant to talk about it because it just came out last week, I think. So I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but like we were talking about before the show.
Yeah, this is your chance, by the way, because I got some serious things to say about the Manti Te'o. If you haven't seen it and you want to watch it, one, it's not a fiction. You know what happened. Like, I'm not really going to spoil much.
Yeah.
But there's 2 parts of it that I was like, holy bleep, bleep, dump button.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say both of those parts. So if you don't want to hear it, come back in 5 or 15.
And this stuff is also out, by the way. We talked about it. I know what parts you're talking about. Like, it's out there. If someone has, like, been searching around, they would find it. But you're right. It might be a little bit of a spoiler if you're planning on watching it. It doesn't ruin the whole thing, but it is one of those holy cow moments. The first one for me was finding out what ultimately happened to the catfish person. But we could start out at the beginning because, like we were talking about, you were in your teens.
Mm-hmm.
I was in my 30s. But it was a wildly entertaining story. Let's remind people basically what the story was. You got Manti Te'o out of, geez, I don't even know. I think he was in Hawaii.
Hawaii, yes.
And then got recruited to a couple of schools. He had a ton of offers. He was just like a beast of a linebacker
Yes.
growing up in Hawaii. And then he ended up committing to Notre Dame, which I guess was a surprise to a lot of people. He was supposed to go to USC.
Even him, he said in the documentary he was mad about it. I was like, what?
I don't really understand that either. Here's a guy who gets recruited by like 20 schools and then decides to go to Notre Dame because he thought he saw like a spiritual sign about it.
Yeah, very religious guy. I didn't realize.
But USC would have been a good fit for him too, man. He would have done really well.
Well, he would have
out there.
found out quicker that the girlfriend wasn't real if he went to USC because she was supposedly in California.
Yeah, she was going to
not
Stanford.
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So he might have cracked the code a bit earlier.
But he might not have.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
he goes to Notre Dame, and there's a huge fanfare about his arrival. He gets there, just the very first game he's in, he has a massive game. Like, it's a great game.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point, I guess he had already started connecting with this girl online, the early days of Facebook.
It's true.
And the beginning of it didn't really stick out to anybody. It was just a random person chatting them up. It wasn't like they were having a sexual conversation or anything like that. It wasn't
they
even
were just
flirting.
like, what's good with you?
Yeah, it's just checking in. And like Manti, he seemed oblivious to the fact that anyone wouldn't want to like have a innocent chat.
Mhm.
Like, wouldn't you be suspicious about this in 2022 if some random beautiful girl DMs you on social media?
Yeah, I'd be
You'd
confused.
be a little sus about it. Now,
I'd just delete it.
he's a somewhat famous college football player, so I don't know, maybe he gets that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But in 2012, was that really happening? I don't know.
I don't know.
So he keeps this relationship going with this girl, but it's purely platonic.
It is. They're just chatting.
Yeah, there's no
On
like
Facebook.
there's no flirting really based on what they were saying. There's no like, I don't know about you, but back in my day before I was married, you do a hell of a lot of flirting and instant messaging. It's real easy because you have time to think,
True.
right? Like when you're face to face on a date, you got to act in the moment.
You
got
do.
to be pithy and witty and all that stuff. And then online, you hide behind the computer screen. You got a couple of minutes. You can craft a good response. You can edit. You can delete before you send it.
All those things.
Yeah. So I thought it was interesting that how innocent that relationship was at first.
Yeah, I think that, like, I don't want to give you this yet, but, like, just the point you need to know is, like, he's messaging this girl because, like, one, he wants friends, but two, you'll find out quickly through the documentary, Manti Te'o's, like, goal in life is to help people.
He really does come
He
across.
just wants to be nice and, like, help people.
Yes.
Like, that's what you find out. So he's messaging this person, and, like, he tells you, he's like, like, she needed a friend, I needed a friend, so, like, I thought I could help her through the tough times. And I was like, all right.
I get it. I guess she said she was going through some stuff, right? I kind of forget what her situation was. I think she had she claimed to have cancer or something like that.
Well, yeah, this is where the kind of things go off the rail. They do a good job of, like, explaining who Manti Te'o is before.
Yeah.
Because for somebody that doesn't know the story, like, they had to explain how great he was.
Sure.
And then, so it's going back and forth between the person that catfished him and Manti Te'o, so there's no, like, secret here. You know, when you're watching the documentary, you know what happens. You just have to get to the point.
Yeah.
But there's a point where the person that's doing the catfish,
His name was Ronnie at the time.
whose name was Ronnie at the time, decides, I'm going to kill off the character for the first time.
Right. So, but we get there because Ronnie says that Manti wasn't necessarily the first person Ronnie catfished.
Oh, yeah, there's a ton of them.
And
That's
there's
part
a
of it.
bunch of dudes, and it seems like in the environment that Ronnie was growing up in, Ronnie wasn't allowed to pursue guys because he was a guy,
Right.
and whatever culture was around him, it wasn't acceptable, and so he would catfish these guys, and then when they'd all want to FaceTime, or video chat, or meet up for lunch, or go on a date, suddenly he would have to bail.
Yeah. Delete them off the Facebook.
Right.
Of
Or-
the girl that only had 4 photos that
So-
nobody could catch on.
So Ronnie sets up this fake account using some, random friends' photos that he doesn't really even know.
Yeah.
And
Random girl from school.
And that's what, Ronnie ended up getting Manti Te'o with. But we come to find out that these days, Ronnie has fully transitioned into a woman.
Yes.
I forget what the new name is.
That is part of the shock value, by the way.
What was the shock?
That
Remind me.
part of it.
Tell me.
Just, it threw me off. I didn't see that part coming.
The transition.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't think anybody did. They kept it a secret, at least for the documentary.
Yes.
But out comes, I don't want to say Ronnie because it's not his name anymore. I just don't know I got to look up what the name is. Can you look this up for me while I describe it? In any case, Ronnie comes out now with the long hair and the long nails and the makeup, and then you're like, all right, clearly Ronnie has gone down a path here that is very far from the days of catfishing Manti Te'o as some high school boy. But in any case, the catfisher decides that this is getting too real because Manti Te'o keeps asking to FaceTime. And every time Manti is asking to FaceTime, the catfisher is making up excuses and all this stuff. So the catfisher does decide to kill the character off. Remind me again how she killed the character off. It was,
Naya, by the way.
Naya is the
So she's decided that they don't want to do the thing anymore.
the catfishing.
The catfishing.
It's getting too much. And by the way, I think at this point, Naya, formerly Ronnie, had like significant feelings for Manti Te'o.
Yeah.
She may have convinced herself she was in love with him.
So before she died to the public, she died one other time because allegedly there was a car crash that she was like dead. And this is crazy.
A made up car crash.
This is crazy. This is the part where you're like, what the heck is going on? It's a fake car crash. It doesn't exist, but it's portrayed that way because of the catfish. Then a new family member is brought in, still played by the same person.
Yeah.
And explains to Manti, this is the situation. Then gives the phone.
Wait.
We have to keep going.
Wait.
We've done this for 17 minutes. We have to keep going.
Wait. I know. But what I want to say is that Ronnie, then Naya, actually ends up playing multiple family members.
Yes.
So Ronnie at the time is not only playing this character, this catfish character, Lene, but she's playing Lene's brother, the father,
the mother,
the aunt.
Yes.
And so the documentary filmmaker is like, well, wait a second. Like, would you use a voice changer or something like that? And then Naya says to the camera, no, I just get into this headspace where I can change. So they asked to see it. So Naya, right?
Yes.
Naya goes into the closet. She doesn't let the cameras in there because she doesn't want to show what her face and her emotions look like. But we get to hear it, and man, like I wasn't able to tell. Were you able to tell that was a guy?
Not really.
Or a male voice?
Not really.
It was crazy.
It's a wild thing. But back to that point, this non-person is dying, and they do sound effects, or the catfish person does sound effects to sound like somebody on life support with the breathing.
With the breathing tube, yeah.
And then Manti Te'o would talk, the real Manti Te'o would talk to the catfisher who Manti thought was dying, wasn't really dying. And then she would do like this sound effects thing. And then somehow Manti Te'o, if you watch it, brings her back to life. That's how it's portrayed.
That she basically is on the fake life support, and Manti is just telling her as she's about to die, I'm here with you, I'm here with you, I'm here for you. And then the catfish character, Lene, who's really Naya, who used to be Ronnie,
yes,
goes, Manti. And then suddenly she's risen from the dead.
And he believes the whole thing.
And time out, because she was risen from the dead championship week for Notre Dame in a bowl game. And he had already come out and told everybody in the media his grandmother died on the same day as this girl had her accident and passed away. And now she's telling him she's back to life again.
Right.
And he's like days away from, was it the national championship? I forget which.
Was.
The national championship.
Yeah, and then it all hits the fan.
Like, how do you go to the media and say, yeah, I know we have this really important national championship game going, but also, yeah,
that wasn't real.
This weird girlfriend thing is happening. You can't do it.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is Deadspin breaks the whole thing. It's just
wide open.
It's just a wild thing. Like, the whole thing's very confusing. And then as the season goes on, like, Manti actually meets Ronnie in person.
Oh my God.
But doesn't know because the girlfriend who doesn't exist is on life support. But thinks Ronnie's the cousin.
Yes, he thinks Ronnie is the cousin of Naya.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's definitely worth a watch, especially if you lived through it and you were curious about it. What did it leave you feeling as we wrap this up? Because we got to go to break here soon. But
so here's what I've boiled it down to. If Manti Te'o was not as religious as he was, none of this happens. Because how I take away from it is he's super religious, and he was like trying to help as many people as he could coming back to that. And if he wasn't in that religious
spiritual space, yeah,
he wouldn't have been interacting with this person to the point where he brings her back to life from a car crash and then is like working her through cancer that she didn't actually have. So what I'm getting at, if he's not trying to play this overarching character of like saving people, he doesn't get caught up in this.
Okay,
I think.
But I don't think he was trying to do that. I think this was just the fiber of who he was. Like he was just I remember watching Manti Te'o in 2012, 2013, and all this breaking down, and I said to myself, well, you know, maybe he's just dumb. Like maybe, like there are people who are smart. Maybe he's one of these guys who isn't. Right? He's just a big guy with no brains. But you come to find out, he's not dumb. He's just...
He got played, bro.
He's nice and naive.
He's way too nice, is what happened.
And to his point, in 2012, like, who was talking about catfishing?
Apparently nobody.
No one really. I mean, the Catfish TV show was kind of a thing, but it wasn't like a mainstream thing yet.
Yeah.
Adults didn't really know about it too much.
And the other part of this is... There's so much of this. The catfisher got the parents too. Because the catfisher
got Manti Te'o's parents.
Would talk to Manti Te'o's parents as different family members.
And they bought it.
Everybody believed it.
Everybody bought it. Manti Te'o is calling his cousin going, hey, I see on Facebook, you know this girl. Is she legit? The cousin's like, oh, yeah, I know her. Other friends, hey, you know this girl. Is she an okay person? They're like, oh, yeah, she's fine. We know her. Like, how else do you verify? And also, I got to give props to Matt Masters in the chat. He's correcting us. He's right. She didn't die in the car accident.
Yeah, she comes back from the car accident.
The breathing tube was from the car accident.
Yes.
Then she dies of cancer.
She dies of cancer,
and then comes back to life.
So that's
after dying of cancer.
And that's the big shock value part of it too, right?
Oh,
because she calls Manti and is like, hey, it's me. I'm not actually dead. After he plays a whole season for her as dead. And Manti is like, all right, you need to send me a picture with the date, throwing up the whatever this sign is.
It was the I love you sign language sign.
Yeah, like throwing up this sign and smiling with like well lit. And obviously the catfish person couldn't have done this because it's not them in the photos.
Right.
And this is the part that I lost it. It's the end of the first episode. The picture comes through.
Yeah.
Ronnie hits up the person's picture that he's using to catfish.
Yes.
And the lady does it. He explains it's for like a dying kid or something.
Yeah, she had no idea.
To get the picture, and she does it. She throws up the sign, she holds up the date, and they send the picture to Manti, and everything breaks loose.
Oh, my God.
That's what I lost it.
A crazy roller coaster. And I keep trying to put myself in this guy's shoes going, forget for a moment that you've got this craziness going on with a girl you think you might be in love with or really care for. But you've got the national championship with Notre Dame. You're being interviewed on like Good Morning America, national TV.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, your real life grandmother who you love died a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Like, how much more stuff could happen to this guy?
Yeah, it was wild.
Crazy. And he still kept it together. I mean, he had a bad game, but he kept it together.
It's a good documentary.
It's great.
I'm glad I watched.
It's a wild ride. Highly recommend.
That's pretty much the Cliff Notes in 25 minutes of radio that I'm sure everyone was excited to hear. But, you know, you should definitely watch it and kind of connect the dots that we gave you there because it's wild.
I thought it was a great doc.
Yeah, it was really good.
Hey, man, coming up next segment, I'd like to bounce some questions.
Talk about sports?
I'd like to bounce some questions about AFC South running backs off of you. I want to talk a little fantasy with you here. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Aaron Schachter and the Red Menace in. Brent Martineau going to be with us around 4 o'clock from Atlanta to recap the Jags practice and get us ready for upcoming game day this weekend. We'll be back in a second.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A mix of clouds and sun today with scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. Highs will be in the upper 80s, mainly inland west of I-95. Showers and storms this evening will drop into low to mid 70s. And partly cloudy tomorrow. Scattered showers and a few thunderstorms, again shifting inland as we go through the day with highs in the upper 80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, 0-interest financing with nothing down.
Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again.
Living in Florida, we don't really worry about the seasons except for one, hurricane season. And since your home is the most important asset, protecting your home with Rhino Shield against the harsh Florida weather is good for your house and it's good for your budget. As they say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to your house, those cracks in the walls will cost you thousands if not repaired. Rhino Shield waterproofs your home with a coating that is 13 times thicker than box store paint. He has a Class A fire rating, is salt-air corrosive resistant, and comes in any color. Plus, with our 25-year warranty, you get a 100% non-prorated transferable warranty. This hurricane season, call Rhino Shield today and receive 30% off your entire job. The bottom line with Rhino Shield, you'll never have to paint again.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinsky. The physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Prime Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 904-664-8214. 904-664-8214. That's 904-664-8214.
Something big is in the cards. Best Bet is coming soon to St. Augustine. This summer, experience the best in world-class poker, simulcast wagering, and fun card games for all levels at our new location in St. Augustine. This new Best Bet location will also feature a state-of-the-art sports bar with large flat-screen TVs, delicious wings, and a full-service bar. Located on 800 Marketplace Drive, right off exit 311. For opening updates about Best Bet St. Augustine, go to bestbetjacks.com.
Sometimes the mortgage process can be a tricky one, a dead end for some. Not with Carrington Mortgage Services. They have a team that will find a solution for you. That's what they do. That's what they are experts in, finding loan solutions for unconventional borrowers. If you're self-employed or a freelancer, if you have low credit scores, if you're an investor looking to use cash flow to qualify, Carrington Mortgage Services will find a loan for you. CarringtonMortgage.com. Carrington Mortgage Services, LLC, NMLS ID number 2600, Equal Housing Lender.
In Florida, it's not if the storms are coming, it's when the storms are coming. And that's why you need the Chief. Jacksonville's chief meteorologist, Mike Burrish, with a proven track record of keeping local families safe. Rain, heat, hurricanes, flooding, tornadoes. We get it all. Just more reasons why you need the Chief. Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish, backed by the First Alert Weather Team. Only on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
At CDW, we get the importance of clear communication.
I was on a conference call, and I think my boss asked me to send her roasted beets in a can.
Talk to the experts at CDW. Using Poly headsets and cameras, they'll orchestrate a collaboration solution that lets you hear and see clearly on any device, any meeting platform.
Huh. Looks like she asked me to send her the report sheets when I can. You like beets?
No. IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Learn more at cdw.com/poly.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer Wet Jet. With Swiffer Wet Jet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer Wet Jet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
Touch a Truck is back. Join us August 27th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. with fire trucks, food trucks, police cars, and more. All at Brooks Family YMCA off Centurion Parkway. For more info, visit ESPN690.com and follow us on Facebook at Touch a Truck Jax.
Marvin Harrison and Tony Dungy, they both retired the same year, and Reggie and Reggie was going to be our one, and then Jim Caldwell was now our head coach, and people were like, oh, there's going to be this significant fall off from an offensive perspective, kind of blah blah blah. And the truth is, great quarterbacks will find ways to find, and it may not be producing the same numbers as a guy like Marvin Harrison, who we know is in the Hall of Fame, but this will be no different for these guys.
Well, clearly they're talking about the Colts and Peyton Manning, but who was doing the talking?
Jeff Saturday.
Jeff Saturday. Offensive lineman. That voice you heard in the background right there is Brent Martineau, the host of Action Sports Jacks right here on ESPN 690. Aaron Schachter with Casey Kurtz. Brent now live from Atlanta. Brent, the whole world has been waiting with bated breath. I must have answered 470 emails last night. Did you get your underwear?
I come to you from Flowery Branch, Georgia, with fresh, clean, brand new.
There we go.
Adidas underwear.
Way to go, buddy.
What a way
to the disappointment of many. Yes.
Yeah, to the disappointment. Now, if it makes you feel better, I had to go to the store and old stinky ones.
Oh.
It doesn't make us feel any better now.
Listen, your old radio mate was just on the radio the other day confessing to trying on clothing without underwear on when he goes to the store. So I think you did one better.
I feel pretty good. I don't know. When you get that fresh haircut, you feel good, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now I got this fresh underwear and feel pretty good about myself. But I will say
You must
this.
not change your underwear that often then.
Yeah, more haircuts than new underwear. Underwear's expensive.
Well, it depends on the brand you buy it, for sure.
I only got 6 pairs. I just rotate.
Listen, when I was making really good money, I was buying $16 underwear.
You're lying.
$16 a pair from Mack Weldon.
What's wrong with you?
Mack Weldon underwear.
$16.
$16.
I think what I did is I went to Kohl's. That was the closest store I could find today.
I like Kohl's.
And so I did like the buy one, get one half off.
Okay.
So I ended up getting like 8 sets of underwear for, I think it was in the 40s.
Nice.
So what's that, like $6 a pair
Yeah,
of underwear?
that's a little less than 6, yeah.
That's not too bad, right?
No, that's great.
It's high quality stuff. I'm not going through to the
Oh, I doubt that, but that's
whiteys.
okay, man. $6, $5
Well,
is
add them
fine.
to the list. People that'll never sponsor the show. Fruit of the Loom.
Definitely
I like
not
Fruit
high
of the
quality underwear, but I get you, man. I see how it's going.
I've graduated, but now the question was, did you go Nike? They have Nike underwear now. Do you know that? They have Adidas, they have Jockey, they have Hanes. Hanes is always a good. They make a decent underwear.
I think I'm rocking with Hanes right now. Unconfirmed, though.
It feels
But
like
the
little
problem
kid
is,
underwear to me.
Hanes didn't have the buy one, get half off. for
That's
the second
tough.
pair.
That's tough.
So I had to go where the sale was.
Yeah, we all know, man. You're recovering from that credit card bill, so.
And so I
Still
was
haven't
like, well,
paid me that $5.
But this is where they get you, though. This doesn't make sense, and I'm actually wrestling with this while I'm at Kohl's.
With new
Like, first
underwear
of
on or
all,
old one?
Still old.
Currently I had the old ones, and I'm looking for the new ones and shopping. And like, first of all, I don't need a lot of new underwear. I just did it when I forgot them on the last trip.
Sure.
Right? And I
So
already
you
had
just
some underwear.
you
to
just
begin with.
replenished. I see what you're saying.
Guy
So
has
I'm just
84
replenishing,
pairs at the
switching
house.
over. Yeah, now I have a lot of underwear.
Separate drawer just for underwear.
Oh, well, I already had that anyway. But
Some of us-
so
some
I'm
of us are
thinking to
living better than
myself,
others.
I'm like, okay, I'm thinking right now it's better off if I do the buy one, get the second set half off. And they're like a box of 4 each. But like, why am I spending this? I still have to spend some like $45 instead of like $32.
Yep.
That's why they get you.
That
Like, I
is.
feel like it's a deal when I spend $13 more than I went in there to spend.
Exactly. You're saying thank you for the punishment.
So anyway.
Was Marcel with you when you did this? Like, was he helping you pick out?
No. Marcel's
What
not
a great piece of video content that would have been, though. You and
Would've
Marcel
been
go to the
good.
store to buy you underwear?
Hey, Marcel, yeah, I hold up like, do you think
Do you
A,
think these
B, or
work?
C?
Yeah. There you go.
Marcel, how do I look in these?
Yes. Has anybody ever gone to Kohl's and gone to the changing room to try on the underwear?
Probably not.
With a friend.
With a friend. It's some sort of TV camera to document the experience.
Call it doubles.
Absolutely. Off the rails right away on a show.
I
But,
literally-
welcome to Flowery Branch, Georgia, everybody.
I had to run up to a town center today. I broke my belt going to the bathroom today.
Oh, that's interesting you said that. I got a belt while I was there because my belt's on its last life.
What else did you get, Brent?
That was it.
I know they usually do graphic tees 2 for $22.
I know. I've done that before, but I used to shop in Kohl's a lot, and I'm like, I don't need anything, but I'm hard on my dress shoes too, and I kind of do need new dress shoes. And I was like, oh, those are kind of cool. They have the sneakery looking dress shoes now that everybody wears.
Oh man.
And I'm cool. I'm hip, so I got to be like everybody. But I was like, oh, I kind of like these, but I think they were like $100. I said that's a little steep for Kohl's.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Steph probably has all sorts of like Kohl's cash. They do that thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm
They try to
gonna
get
wait
you to
till
come back, yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's probably got coupons like crazy. And if I bought those, she'd be like, are you kidding me? You could have bought those for like $40.
I give you a spoiler alert, folks. If you want free Kohl's cash, buy something on Amazon you don't want, return it at Kohl's. They give you a coupon when you return something.
Look at you just breaking the system.
It's true.
Cheating.
There you go.
I like it. Very good. All right. Sorry to interrupt your show.
We're going on 36 minutes, 0 sports, so let's keep it going.
Well, look,
We've got
Manti sports,
Teo,
but I needed the underwear update before we did anything else.
You weren't the only one. I felt like tweeting it out, but then I held it for the show.
Good, thank you.
Exclusive.
I appreciate it.
It's exclusive.
Because it is important for us to break the news here.
Such a good topic yesterday, and here we are again today. What are you talking about?
Well, we were just about to talk about some fantasy questions for AFC South, running backs specifically, because it seems to me that in all the teams in the AFC South, the Texans, the Colts, the Jaguars, the Titans, there are all some questions around the backfield. Even on the Colts, where you got a guy like Jonathan Taylor who's expected to have another monster year, there are some narratives and questions there. So I figured we'd go through these, and I wanted to get Casey's take and now your take, now that you're here, on some of these things. And we can start at the Colts.
Lead us off. By the way, when are the fantasy drafts? Is that like this weekend or next week?
Hey, I'm glad you brought it up, Martineau. Why don't you tell your sports staff, because none of them have joined. Not Marcel, not Liv, not Stewart. My people have joined. Aaron Schachter.
I'm in.
You joined against all odds, Martineau. I know. It's unbelievable. Justin Kuzart, he's in.
Yeah.
Brian Middleton in the league. Where is the Action Sports Jax television crew? Do they not check their emails?
First of all, I get a lot done in a day, so I did sign up, and it's obviously pretty apparent that they must be working harder in TV than radio.
Oh, yeah.
Because all the radio guys
are in.
Hey. Only the radio guys have a 3-hour show a day. Some of us have a 4-hour show a day. Okay.
Aaron, I love how Casey. You now are owned by Casey. My guy.
It's my guy.
Aaron did it.
The people that I recruited are done in the league, and the people that I invited on your side haven't done anything. So let's get to it.
This is just a complimentary ad, and they can't even sign up.
There you go. There you go.
So anyway, are they this weekend or the next weekend? Or
usually fantasy drafts are after the last preseason
game. We'll do it at the end just in case.
You want to wait until every game has been played, every injury opportunity has been had, and then as late as if you could, you would have your draft 3 minutes before week 1 started.
That's the plan.
So as late as you can schedule it. Yeah.
Do your homework. All right, take us here. Where are we going?
All right, so we're going to go to the Colts first because Frank Reich was out there, and he made a comment that I thought really raised a flag to me. I'm one of these guys who likes to go wide receiver heavy. I'll take a star running back early in the draft, but especially in PPR leagues, I feel like you can usually find pass catchers later in the draft who aren't the lead backs who can get you some points. And so when Frank Reich said, if I was a fantasy owner and I was going to be in a fantasy league, I think I'd pick Nyheim Hines this year. It really stood out to me. Obviously, he's got Jonathan Taylor on the team. And on the first hand, you could be going, oh, maybe this is internal PR to make Nyheim feel good, because chances are it's going to be like maybe a low snap count. You got Jonathan Taylor in front of him. But then when you think about it, you got Matt Ryan taking over at quarterback. Nyheim Hines has in the past been used to catch passes out of the backfield. Is this going to be an increased part to the offense this year? Is there smoke to that fire? I mean, is there fire to that smoke, really?
Yeah, Casey probably be better answering this, but I mean, to me, I think Hines has the capability of, at least until he does it, let's call him a poor man's Eckler from the Chargers. Mm-hmm. How do you like that, Casey?
Not great, but I will. I
like it, Brian. I think it's a good take.
I don't. Austin Eckler's one of a kind, but
he's not saying he's going to have Eckler's same numbers.
I understand what he's saying. I understand what he's saying, but here's what I'll tell you, Nyheim Hines. I don't care what Frank Reich says. I'm drafting him late, if I'm drafting him at all, and that doesn't change either way because he's the guy you like to have on your team. He occasionally brings a punt back. right? So you do occasionally get some points from him. He's a good guy to have on your bench just in case something happens with Jonathan Taylor. But just because Frank Reich is trying to tell me he's going to use him more, which is obviously cap, you don't tell your scheme before the season. You don't tell him the X factor, the playmaker, if it's Nyheim Hines. I'm drafting him late either way,
You
and
think
I'll
it's,
probably still
you
end
think
up
it's
with him.
smoke. You don't think it's fire.
I think it's smoke.
His current ADP is 126.
That's accurate.
So you're taking him
I'll
around
take
the
him at
12th round.
125 and make everybody happy.
So, Aaron, let's do a little interpretation game here. How do you interpret what Casey just said? It's obviously cap.
That means that Frank Reich is lying. That's what that means.
Okay.
I can translate for you, but I have kids. I have young kids.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
That is what I meant.
Cap is lying.
Cap is lying.
it's
No
obviously
cap
cap.
is truth. And then if you're really obnoxious, you point to your inner elbow when you say no cap.
It's true.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Don't ask me. I don't know that much.
Let's keep going.
I just know that's what they do.
Continue on.
All right, we can move on to the Titans. The other team expected to be towards the top of the AFC South. Not as big a name as Nyheim Hines. Not that Nyheim Hines is such a big name, but you got to give it to Dontrell Hilliard on the Titans, who's really making a name for himself. Significant upgrade over last year's Derrick Henry handcuff, Jeremy McNichols. I actually ended up picking up Jeremy McNichols last year, and it was a disaster for me. So now you got Hilliard there and rookie Hassan Haskins. Casey, do you got an idea of who you would look at for the handcuff over there on Tennessee, or even if a handcuff is necessary, or do you believe Derrick Henry is going to ride you out to the finish line this year?
If you're drafting Derrick Henry, you have to draft, what's his name? Hilliard?
Hilliard, yeah, Dontrell Hilliard or Hassan Haskins, either one of those two guys.
No, not Haskins is the guy from Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Nope, absolutely not. I remember from Shock Your Mock, he's extremely slow.
Yep.
So I will not be drafting Haskins. I'll draft the other guy at the very end. That would be my handcuff.
And Brent, I realize you can't predict injuries, but looking at running backs, the small window they have for dominant years, you're looking at a guy like Derrick Henry. We want to see him successful as much as we don't like the Titans. Derrick, a product of Jacksonville, but it feels to me like if you're drafting Derrick Henry high, you need the insurance policy there.
Yeah, I would say so, but I don't think that makes McNichols' value that great. I think you're going to go in a lot of other different directions. I think McNichols can do some nice things, but I would take Hines way before McNichols.
Sure, makes sense.
And I'm not even looking at numbers, but that's the way I feel, and that doesn't always mean I'm right. But I just feel like Hines is a way more dangerous player and could be leaned on maybe even more than McNichols, in my opinion.
I heard he's going second round, Brahim. I want to snap that up.
Let's go south and west of Tennessee to Houston, because right there you don't really know what the Texans are going to do in that backfield. They got a real mess going on there. You got fourth-round rookie Dameon Pierce. He rushed for 49 yards on 5 carries in one of their last games, exhibition games. But then you got Marlon Mack back there and Rex Burkhead. By the way, both of those guys and another guy whose name I'm forgetting right now, they rushed for 33 yards on 13 carries against the Saints the other week. So what are we doing there? Are you even looking at a running back on this team, or are you too scared to really take anybody but maybe Brandon Cooks on the Houston Texans?
Pierce is a great flyer pick. I mean, I think a lot of people will pick him at some point in later rounds. Don't you, Casey?
I mean, no, if you're going to try to pick him in the later rounds, no, because he'll be gone. He'll be their starter by week 4. He'll be very good. He's going to have extreme value catching the football as well. It's pretty much all he did at Florida. They wouldn't run him for some reason. He's going to be good for the Texans. He'll be the starter sooner rather than later. I'm picking him earlier than late rounds because I'm an intellectual.
So does it not scare you off that Houston ranked dead last in red zone drives last year? I mean, he's not going to have, unless they significantly step forward, he's not going to have too many opportunities for big point games.
Nah, give me 6 catches, 40 yards, give me 70 yards rushing. All right,
that is
a
all
flex.
right.
I mean,
Sure.
he's not going to be RB1 or 2, but if you're flexing him, yeah, I'm with that because he's going to have catches. There's no doubt. He'll get into the end zone. He's the type of guy that'll break one.
Yeah.
I think the ceiling, by the way, we talked about this with the Jags, right? James Robinson, ETN, that duo could be the best in the division, which is hard to say because, right, you have right now Taylor and Hines probably take that, and just Henry on his own, and obviously Houston you can leave off right now. But it's a fantastic running back division, and I think if James comes back to be the guy he's been, and ETN is who we think he is, you really have a chance to be the most dynamic running back room. But that Indy one is darn good now. Don't sleep on that, and I'm not dismissing them.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor is top of the league, top of his game for sure. But you're right. ETN, James Robinson, that could be a formidable duo, and obviously that's a lot of what we're going to talk about moving forward, not just here today, but for weeks to come on the show. We're going to go to break now. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, though, with Brent Martineau out of Atlanta. Happy to have him back. Red Menace, Casey Kurtz, fresh off a Netflix binge last night.
It's true.
So proud of this guy, finally embracing Netflix.
I do what I got to do.
Of course, I'm Aaron Schachter. We'll be back in a couple of minutes right here on Action Sports Jacks.
Long weekends are all about getting a little you time. And at the Home Depot, you time means you building, you drilling, you doing, you recharging, you saving, and you going back for more. Do Labor Day your way and get a free 18-volt battery with select Milwaukee Power Toolkit purchases at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
It's bedtime at the home of SiriusXM, but Conan O'Brien is still awake.
Turns out you don't need a car to listen to SiriusXM. You can listen to the app anywhere, in your room, by the pool, at the
And Brad Paisley just really needs his beauty sleep.
Conan, I just really need my beauty sleep. Maybe really expensive boat, like a yacht.
The waves could rock you gently to sleep.
Don't encourage him, guy.
Oh, sorry. Night-night. Everything you want to hear lives here on SiriusXM. Get the SiriusXM app now.
If you're about to pop the question, celebrate an anniversary or birthday.
Stop. Don't shop the large chain jewelry stores.
Beards Diamonds has been Jacksonville's diamond store for nearly 40 years.
And now it's Beards Diamonds' most exceptional finance offer of the year. 5 years, 0% financing with nothing down.
Shop Beards Diamonds everyday low price on anything in the store, or shop and now purchase online at beardsdiamonds.com.
Divide your total price by 60, and that's your monthly payment with absolutely nothing down.
How about a $6,000 three-stone designer setting?
You pay only $100 a month.
Or a $4,500 1-carat diamond solitaire pendant necklace.
You pay just $75 a month.
Beards Diamonds will never be beat on price.
Now's the time to get her the diamond ring she's always dreamed of.
And spread your payments out for 5 years and pay absolutely nothing in interest.
Get the lowest prices guaranteed at Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Hi, this is Keith Gurr, president of American Window Products. We are Jacksonville's oldest replacement window company. We have been providing excellent service for over 38 years and still have an A+ rating. At American Window Products, we have helped over 36,000 homeowners, and we don't use subcontractors. Right now, we're offering a free installation on 6 or more windows, as well as a free energy package. Go to AmericanWindowProducts.com and click for an estimate. That's AmericanWindowProducts.com. American Window Products, we are the window professionals.
A new era is here for Jaguars football. New championship-winning coach, new superstars, and new optimism. One consistent this fall is Tailgaters Parking will still be delivering the very best tailgating experience at the bank all season. Tailgaters Parking doesn't just talk a big game. They're right across the street from TIAA Bank Field. Offer clean, permanent restrooms, food options, a full liquor bar, and all parking spots are on a well-kept grass lot. Check out Tailgaters Parking at tailgatorsparking.com to reserve your spot today.
Walk into 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center, and it doesn't feel like you're going to the doctors. Beautiful artwork of Jacksonville on the south side location, a laid-back atmosphere, and Rep Butler and his staff are really fun to talk to, and they are there to help you out. First-time appointments and adjustments, just $39 and maybe less pending your insurance. 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. 3 locations, south side, St. Augustine, and the west side. Look them up at 904chiro.com. 3 locations, 904chiro.com.
When Smart Tools give you control, you own it. When you're confident in your decisions, you own it. When you're sure someone's got your back, you own it. At Community First Credit Union, you can own it all. With free digital banking, fewer fees, and a team that's ready to help, you're in control of your money so you can live your life your way. Go ahead and own it. Add an account today at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with the ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays, 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
I think it's up to Kyle Shanahan, who is one of the best play callers in football. Make sure you put him in a position where he can have some success early. Because, you know, he's no different than us. We have a couple of things that go our way early on. We're going to start to feel good about ourselves. We're going to settle in, and we're going to do our job better. So I think it's important for him to leave this game tonight knowing that he's ready to go for the season, because the 49ers are a team that, quite frankly, they have Super Bowl aspirations, and they're not going to let a quarterback who is inexperienced derail those. So Trey Lance has got to come up and meet everyone else at their level of expectations. I think he can do it, but we just haven't seen enough of it yet.
That's Booger McFarland, and I'm not so sure I agree with what he said there. They might have Super Bowl aspirations, but I don't think they're getting off the Trey Lance train anytime soon. I mean, they're going to be patient with him in the early going. Now, maybe somewhere down the line you need to rescue it because it's bad and Jimmy G's still on your roster, so I can see the sense in it, but there will be no rush to that. You guys agree there? I mean, Trey Lance is going to get some rope, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, at least this year and next, right?
Yeah, but I mean, see, in this season, like, I get what he's saying. Like, they have a really good team, so let's just say he struggles. And now we're 6 weeks in the season, and they're like 2-4, and he's not really playing well. And you have Jimmy G sitting on the bench. Isn't that hard to not go? I don't think that's going to be a 3-game sample, but I think in a 6-game sample, and you start falling behind the Super Bowl champs and the Rams and Arizona and all those other teams, I mean, maybe you do kind of panic a little bit and say, hey, we got this guy that's taken us to a Super Bowl and almost to another one. Maybe we should play him.
I mean, I can't believe Jimmy G is still on this roster, to be honest with you.
But he is.
They're begging for a quarterback controversy. And I understand they're not in a rush. They don't have to be. But, I mean, they're just leaving themselves open for very much for a quarterback controversy, which could derail a whole season.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Casey, what do you think? You think they could do an about turn there?
No, Trey Lance, let's dance. That's their guy. You're going to ride with him. Jimmy G will not be on the roster week 1.
You guys say you got to ride with him, and we'll see about that, Casey. You still have time, right? Over Labor Day, I always think is a critical time for some moves to be made, so that could happen. And then you also have the trade deadline going into early October, and we'll see who's healthy, who's not, who's willing to make a move, what they're willing to give up or get for him if they just want him out of the locker room. But the bottom line here is sometimes we talk about fans that might call for a Kenny Pickett or hear like a Ritter, if they want to see them because they're unknown. But you also got to consider players and who they want to play for.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And that's the key. Like, if San Francisco, they really think they're as good as they think they are, and the kid's not coming along fast, you could get some veteran leadership that's like, listen, we think he's going to be good, but now's not the time. Let's go ride with the guy that's won us a lot of games here. I could see that happening.
It makes sense, and that's sometimes how it happens, but it feels like Trey Lance has barely had the opportunity to be on the field, much less given a chance to mess it up. I will say to Booger McFarland's point, last year, I don't have the data for this year, but last year the 49ers were the 5th oldest team in the league. So you want to talk about a window. I mean, that's a shorter window than most.
That's a good point. Hey, from Flowery Branch, Georgia, where it might get a little rainy, so I had to get a tent over us, but things have wrapped for the joint practices. Lower key day today, and a couple of things to note. Devin
Lots
Lloyd
of questions, man.
He's going to make an NFL debut on Saturday, right? And I think Lloyd's a big story here. Darius Williams continues to play and get back in the fold. I don't see him playing on Saturday. We don't know that yet. Doug Peterson didn't shed a lot of light on playing time for other people, but I can't imagine Williams plays. And then the kicker situation. You wanted the answers yesterday. I didn't have them. I got them today a little bit more, though, guys. Come on. Hold that phone call to Matthew Wright. We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 from Jags and Falcons joint practices, Flowery Branch, Georgia. This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Happy anniversary to them. Put their experience to work for you. Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. I've had mine for a handful of years now. Absolutely love it at the house. Connecticut's twin tank, non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Call today and save hundreds, even thousands on a complete home solution for city and well water. Financing available with approved credit. And because the professionals at CGC Water are committed to being your go-to water experts, you can trust their master plumber with all your plumbing needs as well. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Right now, you can take advantage of the $75 drain cleaning special. Call for details. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Well, that ding-dong doorbell company is at it again, admitting to giving out customers video footage over 11 times without the customer's knowledge or consent. This is outrageous. It's inexcusable. It's a breach of your privacy, freedom, and security. When a security company teams up with big tech companies, it means a privacy invasion of your home. It means your information is being sold and distributed without your knowledge. SafeTouch is on your side. SafeTouch equipment is installed by pros. SafeTouch doesn't collaborate with any big tech company. SafeTouch keeps your family secure without invading your privacy. SafeTouch allows you complete control of all your video footage and security, and you can be sure with SafeTouch that your doorbell and camera footage is safe and controlled by you and only you. Choose SafeTouch to fight crime and keep your privacy at the same time. Call SafeTouch today and check out what real security is all about and get free installation when you do. SafeTouch Security, doing what others can't for over 35 years. Call 888-723-8682 or visit safetouch.com. State license EF233.
Something big is in the cards. Best Bet is coming soon to St. Augustine. This summer, experience the best in world-class poker, simulcast wagering, and fun card games for all levels at our new location in St. Augustine. This new Best Bet location will also feature a state-of-the-art sports bar with large flat-screen TVs, delicious wings, and a full-service bar. Located on 800 Marketplace Drive, right off exit 311. For opening updates about Best Bet St. Augustine, go to bestbetjacks.com.
Quitting nicotine isn't easy, which is why Tobacco-Free Florida offers free tools and services like free 2-week starter kits of quit aids. We're also trying out music to help motivate smokers to quit.
Not another cigarette would be late. Now there's someone living tobacco-free. It's you.
Wow. Okay. Maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Celsius Essential Energy is Jacksonville's official energy drink of summer, and Jacksonville summers are fueled by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about this summer, come grab an ice-cold Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
If you've been involved in a slip and fall accident and are not sure of your legal options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. After making his first All-Star game this season, Yankees lefty Nestor Cortez now goes on the IL with a groin injury. Thunder rookie center Chet Holmgren will miss the upcoming season with a right foot injury. He got hurt during a Pro-Am game in Seattle. Cowboys offensive lineman Tyron Smith could be out until December with a torn left hamstring. ESPN's Jeff Saturday.
Dak is a fantastic quarterback. I think he's still on the rise. I think they have planned for this, understanding how Tyron had been battling injury, so this is not a surprise.
Jeff Saturday on KJ and Max. Former Browns center J.C. Tretter is retiring from the NFL after 8 years, but he'll stay on as president of the NFL Players Association. Cleveland cut Tretter back in March. Illinois names Tommy DeVito its starting quarterback for the opener this week against Wyoming. NASCAR driver Chris will not be available for the playoffs. He's been out more than a month with concussion symptoms. That means the last 2 playoff spots will be open Saturday night.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau.
Boyer was an awesome teammate. He went off to Jacksonville and he got exactly what he deserved. And that's just a product of his hard work, and I'm proud of him. And I can't wait to see what he do up there. But I know they for sure got a great player, great teammate, and that's just the type of person Foyer is.
That is Deion Jones, linebacker for the Atlanta Falcons, talking about Foye Oluokun. And caught up with him yesterday, had some nice things to say about Oluokun, who, by the way, he just met with the Atlanta media and the Jags media. And what a tremendous story that we probably haven't talked about enough. I mean, from Yale to he was a defensive back to linebacker transition, special teams guy, and now has worked his way into being a star in the NFL. We have talked about that part, that he's an underrated player, I think, in the NFL. And he's now a $15 million a year guy for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah. What an incredible story that he has been. And he had to battle some injuries and all of that, too, when he still, paved his path to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And, by the way, guys, came up with what I think maybe is like the slogan of the team now. And should be, or maybe we should do this with ESPN 690.
Just trying to make it?
Nope. We say we're not worried about the past on ESPN 690. It's ESPN 690 now. We are ESPN 690 now.
Interesting.
And so his quote was, I know the Jaguars have come with a narrative in the past, but I wasn't a part of that, and I'm not worried about the Jaguars of the past. We're the Jaguars now. I think that was kind of his quote.
Can we get him to track that for us? Like, can you just put a mic in his face next time he's talking and say, hey, can you just repeat that, but put in ESPN 690 instead of the Jags?
That might be a good way to do it.
That's sick.
I like it. Don't you guys like that? Like,
I love
Jaguars now? That's a great slogan.
Here's the thing I struggle to wrap my head around. I mean, this guy has accomplished so many amazing things. Like, any one of those things are highly unlikely for any regular person to accomplish. And he's doing multiple of these things, becoming a millionaire, going to Yale, playing football in the National Football League. I mean, I can't even begin to fathom how his brain works. It's amazing to me.
Well, yeah, you can't because you're not smart.
Oh,
like him.
Shots fired from Flowery Branch, Atlanta.
Holy
Real brain.
cow.
Brent.
Holy cow.
That, by the way, that didn't come out the way I intended it. I was going to say, you're not as smart as him, but then it just came out like you're just not smart.
Instead, you go, hey, Schachter, you're a moron. Stop thinking about it.
He wouldn't have said that if he was in studio looking right at you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to make sure these cops are on the lookout for Brent on the way back from Atlanta.
He doesn't want that smoke.
I said words to Austin, and he beats people up for a living.
Yeah, but he physically couldn't hurt you because his hands are weapons. Schachter doesn't have hands as weapons.
That's right.
Sure
They're
that
mush.
head isn't a weapon. Head's not a weapon.
Yikes!
It's shiny.
Yikes.
It's not a weapon.
No, heads up.
More of a
Heads
flashlight than a weapon.
Brent's shooting out here. Heads up.
So you guys like that? We're going to go with ESPN 690 now.
I love
it. Yeah, you got to say it with a deep rated.
Yeah, you do.
No.
You kind of have to do a little.
No.
But Oluokun's a great story. He really is. So let's linebackers, guys. Brent Martin, Aaron Schachter. Smarter than you think. Casey Curtis back in the Action Sports
I
Net
am.
studios.
Yes, thank you.
And we the linebacker's really on display today. Aluakin, of course, is a former Falcon, and so that was a story, and he talked to the media. And he also had a pick six. Chad Muma off a deflection. You may have seen that on social media. He gets an interception. I think he's really playing a lot better. But the storyline is really Devin Lloyd, guys. Devin Lloyd, who has been kind of under the radar because he's had a hamstring injury and could be a massive part of this defense. I mean, we're really jacked up on draft night when the Jags traded back into the first round and picked up Devin Lloyd. And now he's been on the sideline with this hamstring injury and did tell us today that hamstring injury was pretty significant, like more than just a normal tweak. And that's why he's had to stay out as long as he's had to. He did it in the conditioning drill. And he was pushing too much. And he said, I learned my lesson. I didn't need to be going the way I went in the conditioning drill coming back, and it cost me 4 weeks. He doesn't think it's going to be a crazy transition. And I'm not trying to discount the young man, but I've seen this enough. I think his valuable time out in the preseason, on the field, working with your teammates as a young player, a rookie player, even though he played a lot of football at Utah, I think it's going to take a little bit. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Lloyd has a slower first month than people want him to have. I don't even know what that means, but I think he'll really come on. Don't be surprised, Casey, if this is like a Tyson Campbell situation where Lloyd in the first half of the year, so maybe a play or two, but also some that you don't love, and then he really picks up steam in the second half. Couldn't you see that coming?
I could see that. I'm interested to see how that plays out because obviously linebacker, important position. If you miss tackles, it's obvious, but it was obvious for Tyson Campbell. So I wonder, like, in terms of that, with Tyson Campbell, when guys were wide open, we saw it. So I wonder if you're making that comparison, what the obvious and egregious errors would be at linebacker when you might have some help from a guy like Aluakin, where Campbell, he's out there by himself.
Yeah, especially last year when that secondary was really rough. You know, this year you've got a lot of help at linebacker, and that's one of the better positions on the roster. So they may actually cover up some of those rookie mistakes, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. But the problem with that linebacker spot, and I've learned as we've gone over the years, okay? Yes, you're on an island. You guys are right. But he's still going to throw the football to you when you're the corner. And he also, if you miss a tackle, like after an 8-yard route, you got your safeties there for backup. So it's not like an 80-yard play potentially.
Yeah.
They also have to catch it, so there's some more mechanics in it. There's not as much of the mechanics in stopping the run. So, like, if Lloyd is out of position, misses a gap, or just doesn't get the communication, or feels a step slower because he hasn't been out there, or is thinking more than he should be instead of reacting. And by the way, I could see those things happening because he's adapting to the NFL.
Yeah,
he's got a great skill set, but that wouldn't be a surprise to see a kid thinking. Heck, we talk about that with Trevor, and we think he's going to be really good. And so if you do that, Casey and Aaron, I think you sometimes run the risk of, boom, there goes a 25-yard run. And the Jags are trying to be really good against the run. So I don't know. I don't know if it's as noticeable. And by the way, when those plays do happen, you're right. You notice that, Tyson Campbell probably messed up. You don't know whose fault it was against the run, but don't be surprised to tape the day later. People are like, hey, yeah, Lloyd was a step slow there or missed that. And but I'm not predicting that to happen. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. I think it's a bigger learning curve than maybe even he thinks it is, adapting to the NFL, the defense, when you're not actually taking the reps. You can talk mental reps all you want, but it's a different animal when you're out there on the field, guys.
Yeah, and we were talking a little bit yesterday about Devin Lloyd and maybe some of the possible comps when he finally, fulfills his linebacking destiny and really gets settled into the game. And I do think, even though we were talking a little bit about guys like Micah Parsons yesterday making some comparisons, I think he's going to be a different player, and it's going to be a little bit harder, whereas Parsons, his main job in that first year was just chasing a quarterback. That's not necessarily what we're going to be asking Devin Lloyd to do every play here.
Well, it is. You bring up an interesting point. And see, when you talk about, we talk about Mike Caldwell's defense, and I've done this a lot now over the last few months. I'm like, okay, I don't have a great feel for what this thing's going to look like. Where are they going to put Devin Lloyd? Because they can put him on the edge. He played the edge at Utah for every year of his career. Like, they want him to rush the passer a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
But they also don't want to make it too muddy for him. But I think Lloyd's a key part of that. Like, where are they lining him up? What kind of packages are they putting him in? How are they using that skill set? And that's why I always say I'm not sure if I have a great grasp in my mind of where everybody is in this Caldwell defense. And I think that's a good thing. I mean, maybe offenses won't have that as well. But I think they're going to make him an impact player. Like, Josh Allen, to me, should be the number one priority to be an impact player for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He has a great skill set. He has experience. He should be unleashed. I also think Trayvon Walker should be right in that category because you picked him number 1 overall. You want to see him succeed, and he, too, has the skill set to be able to really wreak some havoc on defenses. And maybe third on that list is Devin Lloyd because he can do a bunch of different things, and he could be also a matchup problem for offenses. And where is he? How fast is he? How strong is he? All these different – and experience. He has played a lot. He's a mature kid. So once I see this defense, like week 1, but really week 4 and week 7, I think you're going to see this evolution of a guy like Lloyd in it. And don't be surprised if the second half of the year he has like a Tyson Campbell kind of campaign. And hopefully it's not as poor as Tyson Campbell was the first half of last year. But I think he really could take a big step in like November and December, guys.
Yeah, you hope so. Certainly with that revamped front line defense, chasing after the quarterback, these linebackers taking up the middle of the field. You'd love to see it all come together, really helping that secondary to grow as well.
I'm with you, Brent.
Why haven't you guys asked me about the kicker yet? You haven't. I mean, I know
we're
I'm
waiting with bated breath.
I'm ignoring it like it doesn't exist.
You do feel like now you're never going to get that full connection with Matthew Wright just off one.
You know, for the record, during the commercial break, I reached out to Matthew Wright.
Really?
So we may hear from him before the end of the preseason.
Oh, I'm excited.
Is that a good thing? Like, what do you want him to do? Say, how's James McCourt's day out here in Flowers Ranch?
I honestly just want him to get on the phone with Casey so I can watch Casey turn 7 shades of red.
All right, James McCourt. Is this a big deal? He went 8 for 8, guys.
Oh,
has a big leg.
Big leg.
Big leg. Had some deep kicks. He was on the far field, and I could see them all going in. And 8 for 8. That's a hell of a first impression, right?
How far back was he?
That's hard to tell.
11
on the
yards
far field.
out. Just drilling them.
No. We're talking. There was. I think there was
couple of
one that
boomers,
was like beyond 60, like close to 65.
Really?
And there might have been two or three over 55. Like I think he's got a big leg.
All right.
What about the touchbacks though?
I haven't seen that yet.
No, so I guess we can't make a full assessment yet. You have to wait till tomorrow.
But that's good, man. That's good. Things at least going well on day 1. That he's out there. 8 for 8 is a big number.
I'm telling you, this is so weird. Like, but wouldn't it feel great if this guy settles down the kicker conversation?
Depends on who you ask. But
yeah, you want the train wreck to keep going.
Yeah.
Just because you just want Matthew Wright to get a job. Like,
yeah.
And he might not. Like, why didn't they just call Matthew Wright anytime over the last
Casey
month?
wants
I think
the
you
job.
should give up the dream.
So I should get. Well, here's the thing. Here's the one thing, kids. If you take away from this show and you're listening with your parents or you just enjoy the show, never give up on your dreams. Whether that dream is to be on the radio, be on TV like Brent, or wanting Matthew Wright to be the kicker of the Jags, never give up on your dreams, even though Brent's trying to discourage you to do so right now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Joe, go get. You know what I'm going to do? By the time Christmas rolls around, I'm going to get you a James McCourt jersey.
That will be something.
Meanwhile, Casey claims to be like a pro at online FIFA soccer. Maybe you should take those skills to the football field. See if you can get a job out there.
It's true. Maybe the video game FIFA translates to field goal kicking. I'll double check on that.
You might as well check.
Listen, the first couple of weeks of practice for the Jags, all we talked about was kickers. Like, that was the major problem in camp in the first couple of weeks. And they were hitting media members, and we had the helmet and all this stuff, like a new product line. Like, I mean, it was amazing. And so for this guy to come in from L.A. after getting waived, join the team here, obviously nothing's comfortable about all that. And he doesn't kick yesterday, just warming up and stretching it out, but then come in here today and go 8 for 8. I mean, I think there's some significance to it. It is practice. I get it. And we'll see what happens on Saturday. I told you guys this earlier. It's a nice situation to walk into. He's going inside the dome there, and so he won't have elements to deal with, and you usually don't have many elements in August anyhow. But this will be a good situation. I mean, he could give a huge breath of confidence to this locker room, the building, the fan base, if he goes out there and goes like 3 for 3 on field goals coming off a practice like this. I do think there's some significance to it. Like, I feel like, okay, Brent, like there's a lot of kickers in the NFL that go 8 for 8. You know, I mean, it's like it's practice.
Well, you're
That's
really
kind of
starting
their job.
You're starting to pare down all the battles at this point, and that's what you kind of hope as you get to the regular season. You certainly don't want to go to the regular season not knowing who your starters are or who should be your starters, but outside the offensive line, and that's been pretty well documented by us on this show, like there's not much left if they nail down that kicker spot.
Well, that's a fair point, too. The right tackle spot is, and then you got your back of the end, the roster bubble guys. But that's a good point, Aaron. I mean, this is really the one hovering. I mean, this is the one that when I asked Doug Peterson about the kicker, he looks at me like, just gives you that blank stare, and it's concerning. I really feel like it's concerning because we've seen everything in Jacksonville, and if you go down and you have a chance to win a game with a 45-yard field goal and you don't trust that guy, you know what? He might make it. But the fact if you don't trust it and you don't feel good about it, that is not a good feeling for a football team to have. So I think I just go make some kicks, man, and just blend in. Like, you want the kicker to blend in, much like the offensive line. You don't want to be talking about it. And so I think it carries some significance today that he got off to a heck of a start, because what it does is it puts it to bed for a day or two. Because, listen, if he went 4 for 8, we'd be talking about off the lead of the show.
We need a new kicker.
We'd be talking about Matthew Wright again.
Yeah, we would.
And so
we'll wait till tomorrow.
So I look at that a lot of times when we're breaking down, practice or preseason games, or just start to carry some storylines into the NFL season. And it's a lot about what you could be talking about and you're not. And I think the Jags, at least for a day, have that with the kicker situation. And we'll see if this kid can do it. But he did well today. That's really the moral of the story. Some of the headlines of today, there was an interception by Trevor Lawrence, but the offense, I think, still continues to look good. There was a nice play to Zay Jones a couple times. I said this, and I tweeted this. James Robinson, to me, starting to look the part more. Now, he's got the jersey on, and so they're protecting him. And he's still not he's not going to play Saturday. There's some curiosity whether he'll even make it back for game 1 if they're going to push the envelope that much. But what I said is a couple of weeks ago, I noticed that his gait wasn't there. That's G-A-I-T, guys.
Okay.
That gait. Like how you just envision a guy running, right?
Yeah.
And he felt like he was off a little bit. And so I just don't know if he trusted it. Was it still? I don't think it was still hurting, but
You think
is
it's a
he fully
mental
back?
thing, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, are you still kind of leaning on it a little bit? Well, what I noticed here in these couple of days is when you see James run, he's starting to get a lot more work. So this is part of it. You see him more. That he looks more like you don't notice that. I mean, 10 days ago I noticed it. Today I didn't notice it. I think that's a comforting sign. I think that's a really good sign for James Robinson to maybe mentally he feels like he's back. Physically he's starting to feel like he's back. And that it all signs could point to him debuting against Washington on September 11th. Do you guys feel like, are you disappointed if he can't go in the opener? Or do you get it if he can't go in the opener? Like, what would your reaction be? And I guess that would depend if you picked him in fantasy or not, maybe too.
I picked him in fantasy, but I get it. I wouldn't be upset if he doesn't play.
It's amazing that he might be back by week 1.
I know it's incredible at the forefront of it. So yeah, no, if he doesn't play week 1, okay, even week 2, let's be fully healthy, because it's not like you don't have Travis Etienne. Like if you had nothing else, I'd be like, maybe put him in.
You also drafted a body to be back there too. It's not like Travis Etienne is by himself, but obviously James Robinson, a huge upgrade over what you got.
Well, and Snoop Connor, I think he gave me a little bit more to lean on the last couple of weeks, especially last week, than he did, say, in Canton, Ohio. I wasn't overly impressed with Connor in the first one. But it was his first NFL game, and I wasn't overly impressed with anything that day. So, I think, listen, if Snoop Connor had to go in there and get, 7 to 12 carries, 7 to 10 carries, I think we'd probably feel okay about that, right?
Sure.
Probably be interested about that.
We'd be okay.
Or even if, Trevor's got to throw the ball 35 times instead of 25 times, and there are a lot more short passes because the running game isn't happening, then, that's what it is. You just got to watch out for people putting pressure up front if you're not going to run the ball.
Yeah, and here's the other part of it. James could play, but they might just not load him up.
Yep.
And so then you got to factor that in.
Just give it to him on the 1. It's fine.
Yeah, it might be just some of those situations. See, and I also thought about that, guys, about James Robinson. I think I said it to somebody yesterday. I said, does it matter? He's not a run away from you guy anyway. I was talking about his gait and talking about how much, speed is back, or does it have to be?
You love talking about the man's gait.
I know. I just like that word, by the way. But, how often do you notice that in football? I used to talk about that all the time in horse racing when I covered it. But now, how often do you notice that? And I just noticed it a couple weeks ago, so it stuck with me. And now the word is just I'm saying
There.
it 50 times
It's regular.
an hour.
It's right at the top of the vocab list.
I get stuck on some words sometimes. Yesterday was meanwhile. So if I say meanwhile today, please hit a buzzer because I said meanwhile 50 times.
All right.
I'll be ready.
But anyway, you know what I'm saying about James? He's not a burner. So as long as he can fall forward for the 4.5 yards to 5 yards and then, occasionally get the 8, the 12, he's going to pick up some 20-yard gains. But are you a little less worried about him getting his explosion back? Because he's not really an explosive back. The question about Travis Etienne, I even said this to Press Taylor yesterday, is it nice to see some of these runs in the preseason from Etienne? You can see the explosiveness, the quick nature of it. Well, that's what he is. If you don't see that from him, you'd start having concerns coming off the
problems,
injury. I think it's totally different with James. You know what I mean?
Yes, but you also do need that push off to bulldoze people and run them over with a power back as well. So maybe he's not going to use it for a 60-yard burst down the field. But if that Achilles isn't right or he doesn't have the confidence in it, then maybe you don't see him blowing through that line like he used to either.
I think that's a good point you just brought up. And I've thought about that. As I've said what I just said, the back of my brain says what you just said.
Yeah.
Because just as important as being explosive and getting some of that speed back and endurance back, everything else, a big part of James's game is the push, right? That lower half and falling forward and making a 0 gain into a 2-yard gain instead of a -2 gain.
Right.
So I do agree with you, and I've kind of caught myself saying that as well, and I'm interested to see how it plays out. I just don't know. I guess what I'm getting at, guys, I don't know what to expect out of James Robinson this year. The guy has given us more than anybody would have ever imagined. Nobody planned on what he gave us in the last 2 years. And now he's coming off this significant injury, and he's trying to get back because he's got another guy in the backfield that, some people, like Urban Meyer, thought that guy was going to get 80% of the touches anyway.
Yeah.
And so from a playing standpoint, these years are important for James. He goes and plays this year. He might be looking at, and has a good year, he might be looking at a contract at the end of it from the Jags or somebody else.
That'd be big.
And this is a guy that was undrafted making $500,000 a year. So, this is a massive year for him. And I just honestly don't know what to expect. I feel good because I know what it looks like when James is ready to go. But I guess if nobody else knows his body and how good he really feels.
Does he even really know at this point?
And does he know? That's a good point. Or is he trying to just talk himself into it?
Yeah.
I think people do that. Athletes do that. All right, we'll be back. We are live in Flowery Branch, Georgia. I got some things on the table today. I want to research the rest of the AFC South for something different than fantasy like we did earlier in the show. And I do want to compare this offense a little bit to 2017. How does it relate? Is it even close? Better or worse? How do you feel about it? We'll talk about it on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A mix of clouds and sun today with scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. Highs will be in the upper 80s. Mainly inland west of I-95, showers and storms this evening. We'll drop into low to mid 70s. And partly cloudy tomorrow. Scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. Again, shifting inland as we go through the day with highs in the upper 80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jags.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, 0-interest financing with nothing down.
All offers are with approved credit and not in conjunction. See dealer for complete details. Make this the summer event.
There's still time for one more summer adventure. Take yours in a brand new car, truck, or SUV from your #1 hometown dealer, Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Bay Meadows. Drive a new Ram 1500 Bighorn. You won't get a better price or better selection than right here. For a limited time, get 0% and save big. Come in for a test drive and see for yourself why truck buyers are switching to Ram. We want to make your experience the best it can be.
Choose the vehicle you want
and get your price and payment in 10 minutes or less. See our inventory at jaxcjdr.com. Want a new Charger or Challenger? We've got them. And if we don't have exactly what you're looking for, we will factory order it just the way you want it. Take advantage of summer savings at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram and hit the road in style. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, I-295 and Bay Meadows.
Hi, this is Keith Gurr, president of American Window Products. We are Jacksonville's oldest replacement window company. We have been providing excellent service for over 38 years and still have an A+ rating. At American Window Products, we have helped over 36,000 homeowners, and we don't use subcontractors. Right now, we're offering a free installation on 6 or more windows, as well as a free energy package. Go to AmericanWindowProducts.com and click for an estimate. That's AmericanWindowProducts.com. American Window Products, we are the window professionals.
UFP Folkston, the #1 site-built construction plant in Georgia, is now hiring for multiple departments. We've been around since 2016, and we're located in, you guessed it, Folkston, Georgia. Around here, we're more than just coworkers. We're like family, and we're part of an international family of companies with a long history of promoting from within. So if you like to work hard and get rewarded for it, this is the place for you. Check out our openings at ufpi.com/careers.
There are 16 spots in the playoffs and just one track left. Well, not just any track, Daytona. A last chance to keep playoff hopes alive and for fans to experience an event unlike any other. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 26th and 27th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Tobacco-Free Florida has many free ways to help you quit nicotine. From free 2-week starter kits of quit aids to free cessation services like Phone Quit and Group Quit. We're even trying out new motivational tactics.
You're the greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter of all.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Childhood cancer does not discriminate, and 43 children are diagnosed every day in the United States. This is Tom Coughlin, and the J Fund needs your help year-round. Find out how you can help the J Fund by visiting tcjfund.org.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Now, local businesses can get closer to every customer in their city with fast, affordable shipping. Introducing USPS Connect Local. You want speed? We deliver same or next day. You want savings? We give you supplies at a flat rate. You want less legwork? We do free pickups. Move your local business forward with the United States Postal Service. Let's connect at USPSconnect.com/local. Specific markets, restrictions apply. Same day or next day delivery expected, but not guaranteed with entry close to final destination.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Ooma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Instinctually, and obviously he's got a pretty darn good education as well.
Yeah, he does. He takes that same mentality that he took to apply himself in school and apply himself on the field, and it pays big dividends for him. It works for him.
Well, there's a big NFL story brewing, it looks like, by the way. That was Deion Jones talking about Foye Oluokun. Did you see this, like the Aaron Donald helmet thing?
Nope. Had not seen that. What's going on there?
Apparently, there was a fight at Rams camp, and I think I want to look at it more before, but it's a story that could be developing.
Oh, I'm looking at it now.
Donald
Yeah,
in a very Myles Garrett-esque.
No
Garrett-esque.
Yeah, the report, it looks like, and some of these tweets are claiming Aaron Donald swung his helmet at a Bengals player during a fight. Another one of these joint practice fights we've been hearing about.
Yeah, I tell you what, we had none of that here. I mean,
Isn't that
they're
interesting?
absolutely not even close to something.
They're
that
still
I thought was a
exhausted from the
skirmish.
Jets game, probably.
I think so. And
They
you
did
know,
too
they
much
toned
running.
it down, and they did not go like. I didn't think these practices were crazy intense, and so I think they avoided that. And I'll tell you something else. everybody will tell you, you come up to the middle of Georgia in August and you've never been hotter. Well, not these 2 days. I mean, these 2 days were beautiful.
Yeah.
And even now, it's a nice little breeze. There's some overcast most of the day. I mean, we're talking about like low 80s, I think it was. For this time of year, it's unbelievable.
So, Sam.
And so we didn't get all that, I think we didn't get the recipe of what usually brews some of these fights, guys.
Sorry to cut you off there. I was just going to say Sam Green, who's a photog at the Cincinnati Enquirer, his paper in Cincy, has a picture that he tweeted of Aaron Donald holding on to 2. He's double fisting Cincinnati Bengals helmets, and the claim was that he was out there swinging these things in the fracas.
I'm watching a video of it.
Oh, is he windmilling?
How bad is it?
Does it look like one of these hardcore shows mosh pits?
No, so they're all tangled up on the field, and then you do see a helmet go flying. You come to find out it's in the hand of Aaron Donald, and he's swinging now. He is swinging it, and then he gets pushed to the ground. But yeah, he's double fisting Cincinnati Bengals helmets, and then whoever pushed him down needs to play offensive line probably for the Bengals.
Huh?
And then
Aaron Donald went down on his back like he got pancaked. He really did. Of course, it was a group of 85 guys pushing him down, so it makes sense.
But yeah, he was swinging Bengals helmets. There's no doubt.
Wow.
Okay, so, I mean, you guys are looking at this more closely than me, and I'm waiting for the breakdown, like the fight in the stands in the Jags game from Aaron Schachter.
I can go put this on if you want.
Does this warrant suspension type stuff?
I think it will,
again, there's precedent here. I mean, Myles Garrett, what did he do, lose like half the year or a year?
Yeah, and that was in game, so I don't know if they consider that any different, but this is pretty insane.
Yeah, the video's wild. I mean, they're going at it, but I don't know whose helmet he has. Like, it's hard to see the videos from far away. Well, you see the helmet swinging. Like, there's no doubt.
Counting. I'm trying to count the swings. I got 1.
Yeah, there's a few.
2, 3, 4, and then he gets thrown to the ground.
I'll give you 4 as well. But it looks like when he makes contact, it's on somebody wearing a helmet.
Doesn't matter.
No, I agree. I'm just saying it doesn't appear at this point that he hit somebody on the head with a helmet that was not wearing a helmet. It doesn't
There's
look
a
like
couple of things at play. That game, first of all, that was the Browns and Steelers, when Garrett did that.
Yeah.
And he was swinging a helmet at a quarterback who wasn't wearing a helmet at the time.
Yeah, he was defenseless.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know which day. It was Monday Night Football maybe or Thursday Night Football.
Definitely
but it was like
primetime
this
game.
isolated game in prime time. And so I think this is going to take on probably a bunch of different meaning than that. I'm not sure if Myles Garrett would agree with my assessment of it. But you're talking about, I mean, they're both unbelievable players. So it's not like it's some Joe Schmo and some all-star guy. They're both very, very good players. And I think this is the nature of this fight, and probably what from the sounds of your video, guys, like maybe not a direct attack on one player of the swinging helmet, more than just more flailing and a lot of stuff going on.
It looks equal
so it's not on
opportunity,
prime
yeah.
time.
Yeah, but the problem is the video.
I mean, not game.
The video is from so far away, we really can't tell what's happening and what preceded it. The video kind of starts as the scrum is mid-fight, but I can't imagine that in Goodell's NFL, we're not going to see a suspension and a fine out of it.
It is a faraway video. There's no doubt, unquestioned, you could review this in the NFL and they would be able to see it. He's hitting people with a helmet. There's no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And so
Then,
Myles Garrett was 6 games on that suspension.
Oh, yeah. You're going to get a suspension here.
And this is supposedly, I mean, he hasn't said it, but he was ready to retire after last year. This could be Aaron Donald's last year, and it might be cut short because of this nonsense.
I mean, I think you're right. I mean, listen, by the way, one thing about this, like you guys are watching a piece of video that was pushed out on Twitter. Like, the NFL can get their hands on any video they want to.
Yeah, real video, yeah.
Every video every practice is videoed with like 500 cameras,
Oh, yeah.
So I would say from the sound of what you guys are saying, I saw a little piece of video as well. I mean, this looks like there's a suspension coming.
Yeah, Casey, I'll send you a tweet that's got Zach Taylor making comments on it and see if there's audio there that we can use. But apparently he downplayed the whole thing, Zach Taylor did, Bengals coach, saying that, yeah, he swung him, but nobody got hurt.
Hey, good news, boys. If you search Aaron Donald right now, thanks to Brent, we come up. We're there. I'm scrolling through videos of Aaron Donald, and boom, there we are. Look at us, gentlemen.
Yeah, I got to believe, guys, there's a suspension. I mean, that thing is being used. I'm seeing it now a little more. I mean,
He's going after it.
He
yeah.
got held back, but initially, before he hits the ground and gets pushed away, and thankfully he did, or he might have really hurt somebody. I mean, listen, when you start talking about this game, and it's such a violent game, and there are emotions involved, but when you start talking about situations that, like, you could almost call the cops in on the field and it would be battery.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm trying not to be too dramatic here.
No,
but I
that's
think,
real.
Like, somebody could break down a video like this and be like, dude, if you did that in my neighborhood, I'd be in handcuffs.
Look, helmet or not, if he connected, he could still give someone a concussion the way he was swinging those. I mean, he's windmilling these helmets.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a suspension. 6 games. Was that it for Garrett? It was just 6 games.
6 games, yeah.
Okay, so, well, there's precedent.
But it was 6 games at the end of the season, and so it was a whole off season before we knew when he was going to be reinstated.
That's right. Well, yeah, because they did the reinstatement thing, right? So it wasn't like a hard 6. It was like, okay, I'll need a reinstatement.
Out indefinitely, yeah.
Well, I think you're looking at, let's just cut it in half because of the circumstance, right? Emotions are boiling, joint practices, blah, 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 blah. And it's not Monday Night Football, and it's not one person without a helmet that he's attacking. Instead, he's just flailing and swinging. And he is Aaron Donald, after all. And he's been a good citizen in the NFL and an unbelievable player. He represents your league pretty well most of the time, or all the time, until this. So maybe it's just a few games, but I think he's going to get a suspension. Like, I don't know how you wouldn't suspend somebody for this.
Yeah, the only thing that's different to me about the Myles Garrett thing versus this is, number one, you had no helmet on Mason Rudolph, and number two, I don't know that it makes a difference, but like you said, regular season, primetime, lots of eyeballs. But, you know, in the news cycle, this is gonna go everywhere, too. We're already talking about it with 3 or 4 different video angles, and none of them are even official. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops.
All right, so I'm going to be feel like elementary school teacher here, or commissioner for a day here. Do you think there will be a focus at some point because of this situation? But also, you guys have mentioned it. There have been a lot of joint practices, and every joint practices, it feel like, except for this one, with the Jags and Falcons, have had fights.
Yeah.
Now, listen, that's as old as time. All right, I mean, I've been covering the NFL for over 20 years now, and we used to cover Giants camp. I mean, we had a hell of a one with the Giants and Jets. Giants up in Albany, New York, man.
2005 or something like that. Were you there? Man, that was a bloody fight, huh?
It was amazing. That was in Albany. That was up at when they did the camp up there.
Crazy,
and
legendary.
That thing was nasty.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And so my question is, it's not like they're going to stop joint practices. They shouldn't do that. But will there be like a memo? Will there be a little more focus? Like at the owners' meetings next year, will coaches get together and be like, listen, we've got to do something we don't want this. Because to be honest with you, the coaches don't want that. The coaches want you to be super competitive and want you to be feisty, but they don't want to deal with that because the thing about it is they usually respect the other coach and the other team really well. And so they don't want to boil into what we saw with the Jets and Giants and what we've seen over the last couple of weeks and this kind of incident. So I just don't believe that the coaches want to see it.
Yeah.
And the players, whatever, it's okay that, hey, it's a violent game. It's just another fight on the 40-yard line, you know. Every play is a car wreck, you know, in the NFL. So I don't think they care. But I guess I'm just asking, do you think there will be some attention on this? Should there be some attention to be like, listen, we want to practice. We know it's going to be intense. We know it's hot. We know training camp sucks. But we can't be having guys like, you know, swinging around helmets and fights every time we get together to practice.
I just think the sheer violence of the video is going to be the driving factor in its, I mean, I hate to call it popularity because it sounds positive, but it's going to go viral over the next couple of minutes here. It's going viral right now, to be honest with you. And so the more people who see it, the more I think the NFL really does need to address it. Not that they weren't going to, but you got a guy in Aaron Donald who, like you said, is one of these good guys, you know, as far as the image goes, always smiling, never really in trouble. And he's double windmilling helmets in a really violent fight. How this goes on without anyone saying or doing anything is confusing to me. But I do think I remember Tomlin when the Mason Rudolph, Myles Garrett fight happened. Tomlin was pretty outspoken about how dangerous that was and how bad it was. And now you got Zach Taylor. It seems like he was downplaying what happened. We'll hear from him in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, we'll hear from him right now. Is that cool, Brent?
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so it's vastly different than what Mike Tomlin said. So here's what Zach Taylor had to say right after it happened.
What happened there at the end? Just got a little scuffly, and so we just called it. We were in the last period, and we got 2 really good days of work in, and so was it worth getting the extra couple plays? No. So we called it up, and we got 2 good days of work in, and now we'll go play on Saturday.
So that was it for 11s, no matter what?
That was it. Yeah, we probably had 3 plays left. So.
Zach, do you have any idea kind of what happened there, what caused it?
No, guys, emotions run high. We've been working together for 2 days now, and that's just some really competitive guys get into it a little bit.
Wow. How dangerous is it, Zach, when the helmets come off?
Yeah, you just want to make sure everybody's healthy, and I think everybody's healthy. So
Non-answer. Non-answer. He couldn't be further away from wanting to answer those questions if he took a car ride with you guys back to Jacksonville. No interest.
I think, yeah, and by the way, like, I don't blame those guys. They're just getting off the field. They haven't assessed it. You know, he didn't probably see as much as we've seen now in that Twitter video, in fairness to him.
But, I mean, you know, like, NFL coaches, man. I mean, I was watching the highlights the other night from the Jets debacle against the Falcons, and you had a linebacker, I think it might have been Quincy Williams, I'm not sure.
It was.
Who threw Mariota out of bounds, and then you get all kinds of jawing between the coaches there. Like, how is this not making Zach Taylor lose his mind? I don't get it.
Yeah, and maybe he does. You know, maybe when he goes back and looks at it, he might not know exact, like, how crazy it might have looked there. I will, you know, I think that it's crazy. Isn't it wild that the Rams and Bengals, who played in the Super Bowl, joint practice too?
Yeah, that's weird too. I hadn't thought about that.
I'm not sure how many times you see that. I mean, maybe it's happened before. Maybe it happens more commonly, and I just don't remember it. But you know, this is interesting. This situation's boiling up because they played each other in the Super Bowl some 8 months ago. And here's the difference in this whole situation. It's Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald is like the best defensive player of the last decade and one of the best defensive players of all time.
All time.
Like, if you start looking at his numbers, you can put him in the conversation of all-time greats.
Oh, yeah.
And that is not an overstatement. Like, that's not dramatic. And so now you've got – this would be like Tom Brady, you know,
getting suspended
taking the
for
helmet and starting to take shots at people, you know? So it's pretty significant, and it's not going to go away. So, again, I'm not telling you that I think the NFL should come in and be like, listen, but don't be surprised if there's not some quiet memo over the next year before camp starts and conversations to say, listen, we got to squash some of this. It's one thing if you're pushing and shoving, but we can't be doing this. It's a bad look. Maybe I'm overplaying it, but I don't think it's a great look for the NFL when you got your best player potentially on the defensive side of the ball
being a villain.
Well, you know, using a helmet as a weapon, essentially.
Man.
I mean, it's we'll see what happens with the Aaron Donald situation. All right, talked about nothing I was going to talk about that segment. Thanks, Aaron Donald.
We had breaking news.
We did have breaking news. There's a mascot problem in South Carolina. Have you guys seen this story?
Oh, we got a whole bunch of details on that.
I can't explain to you how all over this story we are.
No, we'd be on top of it.
Well, great. We're going to South Carolina when we come back to talk mascots on ESPN 690.
Deshaun, J. Will, and Max.
When you look at a schedule, it reveals more than even the schedule what you really think about that team. Bad teams, their schedules always look brutal because they're no good, so you don't think they're going to win many games. Good teams, you look at the schedule, oh, it's not so bad because they're favored in a lot of those games. I guess I would also take the under on the Jets, but just. Like, I think 5.5 games is right. I'll take the under.
GJ and Max, followed by Greeny. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Had a chance to go out and play some golf the last couple of days. Hopefully you're staying active, whether it's golfing, tennis, running, any kind of exercise. And you can't do that, though, if you have chronic joint pain. Well, one of the best things that's happened here over the past year is the arrival of QC Kinetics. Everybody, it's Brent Martineau. QC Kinetics is giving relief every day to folks here with chronic joint pain using the latest advances in regenerative medicine. They harness the power of your own body's healing properties, like in your blood or plasma, concentrate them, and apply to your affected joint. The success rate is incredible, and QC Kinetics is growing now with clinics in Mandarin and Ponte Vedra. Folks here are getting real relief with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery. And you can get a free consultation at one of the locations by calling 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522. Now in Mandarin and in Ponte Vedra, the results can be mind-blowing. These regenerative treatments are designed to repair and restore your damaged joint tissue. Just call 904-274-5522.
22.
Who's monitoring your security system? Do you even know? What if I told you you were being monitored in someone's house? Can you imagine someone working from home with all your information? Your family's security is dependent on how fast a worker responds to your alarm from their house. Unbelievable, right? Think again, because the largest company in America is doing just that. And pay attention to their ads. They now have teamed up with big tech. There goes your information and privacy. Plus, you're possibly being monitored from someone's home. Now you know why I have a Safe Touch home security system. The Safe Touch Monitoring Center is right here and fully staffed at their disaster-resistant monitoring station. Have you driven by the other guy's monitoring center? Don't bother. It's empty. Call now and find out what makes the Safe Touch 5-star security and surveillance system so outstanding, and right now get free installation. Don't just assume your family is safe. Know they are safe with Safe Touch Security. Call 888-723-8682 or visit safetouch.com. State license EF233.
Something big is in the cards. Best Bet is coming soon to St. Augustine. This summer, experience the best in world-class poker, simulcast wagering, and fun card games for all levels at our new location in St. Augustine. This new Best Bet location will also feature a state-of-the-art sports bar with large flat-screen TVs, delicious wings, and a full-service bar. Located on 800 Marketplace Drive, right off exit 311. For opening updates about Best Bet St. Augustine, go to bestbetjacks.com.
If you want to hit the road this summer in a fuel-efficient ride that's just right for the journey ahead, then listen up, because you need to rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. If you've tried to rent lately, then you know rental companies are short on inventory, but not our friends over at Arlington Toyota Rent-A-Car. Arlington has a whole lot of rental stock ready to rent at a great price. Plus, renting a Toyota is the best way to try it before you buy 2022 models to rent. Just go to arlington.com, reserve your rental, and discover just how good Toyota Rent-A-Car can be.
Something you probably do know. Progressive can not only offer you a great price when you bundle home and auto, they offer you round-the-clock protection. Something you probably don't know? A driveway basketball hoop, including the base, weighs around 400 pounds. Something you probably do know? There's a windstorm coming. Something you probably don't know? A basketball hoop tipping over can poke a hole in a car roof like a can opener. Bundle your home and auto with Progressive and get more than a great price. Get round-the-clock protection. Something you know for the things you don't know. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers, and subject to policy terms. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Buying a home? Then you've got a lot on your mind. Getting pre-approved, your credit score, closing costs, now rising rates? Phew, it's so much. But with Rocket, you get an advantage. You can lock your rate for 90 days while you search for a home. That's 3 months to shop for your dream home without worrying about rising rates, because yours is totally safe. And it gets even better. Let's say rates drop within 3 years of your home purchase. You'll get exclusive savings from Rocket Mortgage when you refinance to a new lower rate. So what are you waiting for? Rocket has your back if rates rise in the short term and if they fall in a few years. So you can lock it and drop it with Rocket, your partner to help you buy today and be certain about tomorrow. That's the Rocket Advantage. Lock your rate now. Call 8337-ROCKET or go to therocketadvantage.com. That's 8337-ROCKET or go to therocketadvantage.com.
Must lock purchase rate between 7/19/22 and 9/30/22. Call 1-8337-ROCKET for coverage fees, terms, and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states. NMLS-ConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jacks on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Hey, I tell you all the time about iCryo in St. Johns County. Have you been yet? The Martineaus all go. We absolutely love it. Great way to recover from your athletic events if you're a student athlete or if you're just an athlete. I'm no longer an athlete, but you can recover from your daily lifestyle. Cryotherapy chamber, red light therapy, the sauna, compression. They have IV infusions, body sculpting, more and more. And how about this? Coming up this Saturday, a back-to-school bash at iCryo in St. Johns County. And they'll have a live DJ, 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. Celebrate the kids back to school at iCryo. Be a part of it. Elevate your lifestyle at iCryo in St. Johns County, the Pavilion at Durbin Park. Again, the back-to-school bash this Saturday, 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. A live DJ as well will be there, and a lot of fun activities for you. iCryo, St. Johns County, Pavilion at Durbin Park. Download the user-friendly app if you haven't yet. iCryo, elevate your lifestyle. Brent Martineau along with Aaron Schachter, Casey Kurtz here on a Thursday as practice is wrapped up between the Jaguars and the Falcons, and we might have a bird problem in South Carolina, Aaron.
Man, it's pretty interesting what's going on in there. SEC can't seem to keep themselves out of the headlines, although this one isn't about.
I kind of like it, I think.
Yeah, I think they do. This one's not about what's happening necessarily between the sidelines. This is about a mascot over at the University of South Carolina. Brent, I learned today when this story came out, University of South Carolina actually has two mascots. They have a live mascot, and then they have the big furry version. The big furry version, his name is Cocky, and he's not in question.
That's
here.
the one we're most familiar with.
Yes, he's very popular.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's very popular.
Nice.
I don't know if he's a member of the Mascot Hall of Fame now. We got to check on that. Very popular.
In Indianapolis, I believe.
Yes, that's right, in Indianapolis. But the mascot in question here is their live mascot. They actually have a live chicken mascot, or have over the years, whose name was Sir Big Spur. And you would think that the university would own their mascot, but apparently they do not. They didn't own the mascot, nor did the university own the naming rights to the mascot.
So they're renting a mascot?
I don't even know if they're renting it. It doesn't really get into the deal between the chicken owner and the school. But what they do say is there's a new owner to the chicken, and they can no longer call the chicken Sir Big Spur.
Wow.
And so they've done what every business and everybody else does in 2022, and they need to rename something. They ask the internet.
Yeah, they do.
And you know it never ends up well when they ask the internet.
Or it does.
So we're looking at a couple of options here that the school voted on. And some of these are awesome. And some of these are scary. And some are kind of lame.
And some are the right answer.
some are kind of lame. So I'm going to run some of these by you, Brent. You tell me if any of these tickle your fancy.
Yeah. By the way, it's a rooster, not a chicken.
My bad, man.
Difference.
It's a rooster. You're right. It's a rooster.
I was like, oh, chicken. Because they are the Gamecocks.
That's true.
That goes into this story as well.
Now, some of these names do play off the word chicken as opposed to rooster. So you'll have to bear with it. But here are some of the potential names for South Carolina's new live rooster mascot. The first one, and the one who's the odds-on favorite to win, is the word coop as a name.
Ah, that's weak.
It's kind of boring, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Case. Here's a better one. How about Cluck Norris?
No, it's stupid.
What? Cluck
I'd rather
Norris
go
is
with
great.
Coop than Cluck Norris.
I kind of like Cluck Norris.
Captain Cluck?
Do you really?
It's better than Coop.
Captain Cluck is worse than Cluck Norris.
Captain Cluck sucks.
You guys fan of Zaxby's? Because Kickin' Chicken is on here.
I do like Zaxby's, so I would think about food the whole time. That's probably the opposite of what.
By
they
the way,
want.
Kickin' Chicken's pretty good.
It's pretty delicious, yes. Got that hot
I
tongue
think it's
torch
a good name
with
too.
the ranch.
Like you can do a lot of things with Kickin' Chicken.
Well, here's the problem, though. I don't mind naming the big fake furry mascot Kickin' Chicken, but once you name the real animal Kickin' Chicken, you might have some drunk frat boys taking it a little too literally.
And you might have PETA after your
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not into
rooster
that.
naming games.
What about Marco Pollo?
No, that's still not good.
You don't like that one?
No.
I give that points for creativity.
I like that
That's a stretch.
Bilingual name, Marco Pollo? I like it. Mr. Chicken Scratch, also on the list. Boo.
Dumb.
Don't like that one.
There's one winner here.
Well,
yeah, there is.
There's one right here for any Big Lebowski fans. Cockadoodle Dude.
They tried.
I could get it. You could have fun with the kids with that.
I can
right?
get with Cockadoodle Dude. I'm telling you right now, I like it.
I could see, like, if you're like from an establishment standpoint, right? I could see that one having some success. You got to find some things you can play off. That's why Kickin' Chicken could be good as well.
Yeah.
But they are going to run into PETA problems probably. And so, what's this latest? What,
Cockadoodle Dude.
Yeah, I could do that. I could do that.
And he is the Cockadoodle Dude. Again, I think it might be a better name for the big furry mascot, not the real life.
Yeah,
one.
that's true too.
But this last one is clearly the winner. I mean, everyone is in support of this one.
I was going to say, what's the vote? Like 98%?
It's
like
got to
the
be.
politicians this week, wish they had named themselves this.
Yes. This one, the one that will clearly win at least the student vote, I'm not sure if it'll win University of South Carolina's approval, is the Cock Commander.
Oh, we all call ourselves that?
Wow, Brent, you really know how to lay it on chick.
It's amazing that they've, like, the Gamecock mascot itself already is, like, enough, you know?
Yeah, it's
and
a
then
bit
Cocky, which you can probably get away with a little bit more. And if they go cock commander here, man, this is just full out awesome.
I mean, they really are diving in head first to all the stuff you would think they would be walking away from. But how many jerseys are you going to sell? How many T-shirts are you going to sell?
Man.
A ton of them.
Like the jersey number 1, I would retire at South Carolina because it will be cock commander forever.
There you go.
Unless you did a different number.
All right, I see where you're going with that. Maybe one of Rob Gronkowski's favorite numbers.
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Maybe so.
Hey, before you go to break, Brent, do you know why chickens make great musicians?
No.
They have their own drumsticks, man.
Very good. Thank you. I hope the kids are listening. Really, I hope the kids were not listening to that segment. Good. We'll see where it lands. Cock commander it is. That is so good.
I'm such a 7-year-old. I really can't stop giggling.
We all are, though. And so, by the way, is every kid on a college campus. So it'll play so well on a college campus.
100%.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. All right, we're going to get back to football. I've got 2 thoughts. And I want you to we gave you a homework assignment yesterday. How does this year's offense compare to 2017, which, quite frankly, is the best offense in like the last 15 years the Jags have had? And I've got a new one for you as well. Potential blue chippers. If you were to go blue chip players on the Jags, who are some names that you might rattle off and buy stock into from a blue chip standpoint? We go there, football at 5. When we come back, Aaron Schachter, Casey Kurtz, Brent Martineau. I'm here in Flowery Branch, Georgia. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Hi, I'm Mike Holmes, professional contractor and TV host. I love helping people, but when it came to improving the water in my own home, I needed help and turned to the water experts at Connecticut to make it right. My water was causing visible problems throughout my home, and it got me thinking about the problems I couldn't see. Protecting my water using appliances and pipes, preventing stains and hardness buildup, and having clean, great-tasting drinking water are all important to me. But choosing the right water treatment equipment can be tricky. That's where Connecticut comes in. A Connecticut water expert will test your water for free and recommend the system that fits your needs and budget. Improve the quality of your water and your life with the Connecticut water treatment system. I'm so glad I did.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com for your free assessment. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
This is Paul Gray, founder of Gray Matter Distillery, inviting you to check out the new home of Jacksonville's first craft distillery in beautiful Atlantic Beach. Since 2014, we have been the proud distillers of such iconic local spirits as Carr Vodka and Live Oak Whiskey. In our new distillery, you can enjoy one of our handcrafted cocktails made using only the freshest ingredients for only $8 a drink. Enjoy a cocktail, sample small batches of vodka or whiskey, or take a bottle home. Pick up your very own Gray Matter Distillery shot glass for free when you mention this ad. Come see us this weekend, and remember to please drink responsibly.
UFP Folkestone, the #1 site-built construction plant in Georgia, is now hiring for multiple departments. We've been around since 2016, and we're located in, you guessed it, Folkestone, Georgia. Around here, we're more than just coworkers. We're like family, and we're part of an international family of companies with a long history of promoting from within. So if you like to work hard and get rewarded for it, this is the place for you. Check out our openings at ufpi.com/careers.
Sometimes the mortgage process can be a tricky one, a dead end for some. Not with Carrington Mortgage Services. They have a team that will find a solution for you. That's what they do. That's what they are experts in, finding loan solutions for unconventional borrowers. If you're self-employed or a freelancer, if you have low credit scores, if you're an investor looking to use cash flow to qualify, Carrington Mortgage Services will find a loan for you. CarringtonMortgage.com. Carrington Mortgage Services, LLC, NMLS ID number 2600, Equal Housing Lender.
A new era is here for Jaguars football. New championship-winning coach, new superstars, and new optimism. One consistent this fall is Tailgaters Parking will still be delivering the very best tailgating experience at the bank all season. Tailgaters Parking doesn't just talk a big game. They're right across the street from TIAA Bank Field. Offer clean, permanent restrooms, food options, a full liquor bar, and all parking spots are on a well-kept grass lot. Check out Tailgaters Parking at tailgatersparking.com to reserve your spot today.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Man, this is a nice truck.
Yeah, check this out.
What?
I changed it to remind me of my time at sea.
Weren't you in the Air Force?
Yeah, but I really love the ocean.
You could save and get $200 with Navy Federal Credit Union when you refinance your auto loans from another lender, leaving you with extra to spend on other things. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Credit and collateral subject to approval. Refinance loans must be at least $5,000 to be eligible for the $200. Terms and conditions apply. Learn more at NavyFederal.org.
This is a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup sound experiment. We're looking to find the perfect way to hear Reese's so you'll buy more of them. Here we go. Reese's. 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 Reese's.
Reese's. Hey, get out of here, you little stinker. Reese's.
Reese's. Reese's.
Peanut Butter Cups. That breathy one sounded very creepy, am I right?
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau.
No, it's not a waste of money. I think that the Eagles, I'm not saying that they're going to hit it, right? But they have one of the best rosters in the NFL. I mean, just look across. And, of course, the big question is the quarterback position. If Hurts takes the leap, then they could absolutely take advantage of what is a weak NFC. Who in the NFC scares you? I mean, everybody's got their warts. So I don't think it's a waste of money, man. It doesn't mean that they're going to do it, but I see a path for them. If particularly if the quarterback elevates his game.
I don't know who that is, but a weak NFC? Maybe the NFC East. I mean, I still think Dallas is good, even despite today's lineman news.
Everyone's bailing off that bandwagon, buddy.
Yeah.
Loving it.
Tampa, the Rams.
And that's about it.
Green Bay.
Niners.
Weak. I think the Saints could be sneaky good, too.
There's no AFC.
Yeah, you're right. But it might be more top-heavy. Who are the dominant teams in the AFC? Maybe the Bills and Chiefs?
Well, Chiefs are the ones that Casey doesn't think are making the playoffs.
Don't give people that information. Don't do that.
But, nobody from the North, you don't look at Cincinnati, even though they went to the Super Bowl, be like, oh, that's a dominant team. Look out I don't.
Do you think they're a playoff team?
Oh, yeah. I don't want to disrespect Cincinnati, but they're just not Green Bay is there all the time. Tampa with Brady obviously is a major threat. The Rams just won the Super Bowl, and they are super talented. I think we have to still learn, okay, is Cincinnati here to play every year, like Kansas City proved that they are? Or were they kind of a one-hit wonder and they're going to be good but not great? I think they have to still prove that to us, where I think the Bills in the AFC and also the Chiefs have kind of earned that over the last few years.
Do you think Baltimore can be considered a dominant team with Lamar Jackson on the field?
No, because they really haven't been dominant.
I
really think they've won a playoff game with them.
Do you think Russell Wilson will make the Broncos a dominant team this year?
No, another one. There's just not enough evidence. I don't think that's fair to do that. I don't think you can do that. I think the Raiders are the same way. Again, the Chargers, you can buy into all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's fine. But I'm telling you, Green Bay has done it. Tampa has done it.
I don't disagree.
The Rams just did it.
Wait, what has Green Bay done?
Made the playoffs year over year over
in the
year.
NFC Championship game the last 2 years in a combined 26-6 or something.
Yeah,
that's pretty damn dominant.
I don't disagree with your top-heavy point about the NFC, but I think me and Casey are on the same page in that, you struggle to fill out a full playoff bracket for the NFC. In the AFC, you don't have enough spaces. So maybe the NFC might be more top-heavy if you look at, the pure dominant teams, but once you get past once you get past 3 teams, the Rams, once you get past the Bucks, the Niners, and maybe one more team, 2 more teams. I'm ready to count the Saints there. Maybe the Vikings or somebody. Like, who else is going? The Packers. You struggle to fill out 8 teams that are definitely playoff bound.
That's fine, but I don't think the nature of what that guy just said, whoever it was, hey, they're going to make the playoffs. Like, that sounded like, hey, they could be a team that, like, goes to the Super Bowl.
Well, I was talking about that Philly roster, which I keep telling you guys about. Don't sleep on Philly.
I think there's a lot of that's some significant friction to get to a Super Bowl. Just ask Green Bay.
Yeah.
As long as they play Green Bay, they'll be fine because they always lose before they get there.
But it's not like Green Bay lost to, like, some schmucks. I mean, they lost to the last 2 Super Bowl champs, man.
Well, they didn't. They lost to San Francisco last year.
Oh, they lost San Fran. Yeah,
Green
right.
Bay,
You're right. Yeah.
You're giving Green Bay too much love, bro. They've been they've been bad in the playoffs. They've been underachieving for the whole time.
I don't know. Bad is the answer. They made the NFC Championship game both. Right? No, they wouldn't have made it last year.
They did not go to the NFC Championship game last year.
2 years ago, they make the NFC Championship game. They go to the divisional last year.
Yep.
And I think they probably have the best record over the last 2 years in the regular
you'd be hard-pressed to find a team more consistent.
And if the Jags were playing the Bears, too, they'd have more wins. These boys are playing the Bears and somebody else.
That's a weird hate. It's a weird hate for Green Bay. I'm just not ready. Listen, I'm not as big a believer in Philly as you guys are, and that's fine. But even if you're a believer in Philly, I'm not sure you're ready to put them on the Green Bay pedestal. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm not there yet, but I do think it's a great roster this year. I think a lot of people are selling them short because of Jalen Hurts. I don't understand where all the hate comes from, to be honest with you. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's going to be a great quarterback.
Yes.
All right, let's flip this thing. I've got this been on my tip of my tongue for 2 days. The Jags offense. Simple question. If I say, first of all, if I had to go backwards, and I've already given this away, but if I had to go back and say the best offense of the last 15 years for the Jacksonville Jaguars was, and I think people would be like, okay, Maurice Jones-Drew, David Garrard had a good year, Mercedes Lewis went 2010 to the Pro Bowl, Allen Robinson, 1,400 yards. Well, the answer is this. It's 2017. In 2017, the Jags scored the most points they've scored in a long time. They were first in the league in rushing. They were 6th overall team offense, I believe, if you combine the pass. And believe it or not, that defense, which was dominant and probably gave them short fields and good advantages, the offense wasn't bad. The offense was really, really good. And so my simple question is this Jags offense better than that one? Yes or no?
I think it's hard to say it's better today, but I definitely believe there are more playmakers on this offense this year, despite the lack of experience.
Casey?
Yeah, they're better. I'll do it.
I kind of feel that. Yeah, I kind of feel that way too. Now, I'll tell you this, okay? We were doing the points per game yesterday, and the Jags, again, I think you have to remember how dominant that defense was and how crazy they scored and got turnovers. But the Jags did score 26.1 points per game. And so I think if you know how that season played out, you're like, okay, well, their offense didn't score 26 a game. Probably. It felt like there was a defensive touchdown every game that year. But still, it was good for 5th out of the 32 teams. We said yesterday 14.9. They were 14.9 last year.
Yeah.
If they're a touchdown better, that's 21.9. And you're still 4-point-something points away from being that kind of good. Yet I agree with you guys, or I agree with Casey, that I feel like these parts are better.
Now, in 2017, they were the 6th highest scoring team in the league.
Okay, this one had 5th for me, but okay.
Oh, you had 5th. I had 6th. Yeah, I've got Philly, New England, Rams, New Orleans, and Pittsburgh in front of them. But to make the comparison to yesterday, the entire league is scoring less. 2017 to 2021. 2021 saw less scoring than 2017.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Hey,
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Go back to your list.
2017?
Yeah, but go slow.
Philly at 29 points.
See what I'm doing there, folks?
Yeah, that's a very good point, Casey. Very good. All right, so here's what I want you to do. I'm going to give you guys some numbers of that 17 offense, and you tell me over-under for the guys that are on this team.
All right.
All right? So you got Blake. I'm not going to go crazy with your numbers, but 3,600 yards, 21 touchdowns, 13 picks.
I mean, I think that's in line, maybe more touchdowns, a little more yards, but that's about what we should expect from Trevor this year.
So you want to call it a wash?
Yeah, I think so.
From a statistical standpoint?
I think so.
Casey?
Better.
Yeah, but not
Do I not
crazy,
understand the
right?
exercise?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so better a little bit. You could hope for it to be better. But you wouldn't you take that kind of year from Trevor? I guess.
Oh
Yeah, I'd take it. I think he'll be better.
Okay, Fournette had 1,040 yards and 9 touchdowns. Actually, had another receiving touchdown. And he was really the only guy from a running standpoint.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
had
he played
Ivory on the
13 games.
roster, but yeah, it was Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, so it was pretty much what you're saying now is from a running standpoint, will the Jags have, I don't know, I'm not sure they're going to have a 1,000-yard rusher, but the combination of ETN and James Robinson will be more productive than Fournette was.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
All right, who's the number one receiver on that team?
Well, Marquise Lee.
Marquise Lee.
Did you have to look that up?
Crazy.
Or did you just know it off the top of your head? Aaron.
Me?
Yeah.
But we were talking about it earlier. Sorry.
Oh, that's right.
Marquise Lee had 56 catches, guys, for 700 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Pretty rough. To be such a good offense and to have that kind of numbers from your lead wide receiver is pretty rough.
And they didn't have a tight end.
Like Christian Kirk is going to have way more than that.
Yeah.
Over.
Yeah, you had Alan Hearns out there with him. You had Keelan Cole doing some work that year, too.
Alan Hearns had 39 catches for 484. What did Cole have? Do you have it in front of you?
No.
Because I don't have that one.
We can pick it up. But this is where basically he made his name for that brief amount of time.
He did. Yeah, he had a nice year. So, but golly, I mean, like, you just, Hearns, Lee, Cole.
So Keelan Cole.
Zay Jones, Marvin Jones, and
yeah, you have playmakers at wide
Kirk
receiver.
Are way better.
Way better. It was Keelan Cole's first season in the league. 42 receptions, 748 yards. So, I mean, he was going downfield.
Good,
he was Bortles' downfield target there.
Yeah, his yards per catch were ridiculous.
3 touchdowns. Yeah, almost 18 yards per catch almost.
All right, so Mercedes Lewis, by the way, that year at 24, 318, and 5 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, 5 out of his 24 catches were for touchdowns. But again, Evan Ingram's going to blow those numbers away, isn't he?
They're not going to ask Evan. They wouldn't ask Mercedes Lewis to do what they expect Evan Ingram to do. That's the thing.
All right, one last one here from an offensive perspective. Cam Robinson, Omame, Linder, Can, and Parnell. Turns out to be a pretty good offensive line.
I think that's a better line, yeah.
Nobody's signing Omame up for the Hall of Fame, but he did okay. And nobody's signing Can up, but I always thought he was very reliable. Linder is probably is at his stage was better than Fortner's going to be. I think you got a plan on. Jeremy Parnell was probably just as good, if not better, than your right tackle situation. Cam Robinson should be better now. He was a rookie then. So, and the Jags do have like their best offensive lineman probably since Tony Baselli playing right guard.
Yeah,
in terms of accolades, you know, I mean, Brandon Sheriff, look at him. I mean, he's on his way to a Hall of Fame career.
I just don't know that this offensive line is going to be better than what you saw in 2017. You had some known entities on that line. Outside of Brandon Sheriff and Cam Robinson, I think it's still question marks for us.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, so that's what you got. That's what you're up against. I mean, on paper, I still, even if you feel like the offensive line isn't as good, you don't think it's like crazy bad versus that one.
Yeah.
Like nobody would. So, because I think you can make the case like the 5 guys individually are better than those 5 guys. Not at every spot, but you take these 5 versus those 5. And again, Cam alone, he's now in this is 5th year or something versus a rookie. He's going to be better, although he did play well that rookie season. So, but then you look at just the other parts and you're like, oh my gosh, this offense is going to be way better. And I mean, just hats off, by the way, to Doug Marrone, Nathaniel Hackett. They did a really good job with that offense. And I'm going to give you one key to that offense. And I say this not all the time, but I've said it enough over the years. Blake Bortles that season was like 21 touchdowns, no interceptions in the red zone.
Yeah, that's great.
21 and zip.
Doesn't get much better than that, yeah.
And so what? Now, if I have that right, maybe it was like 18 and nothing. But he only threw 21 touchdowns, which means he wasn't throwing the bomb. You know, the big play wasn't necessarily there. They were methodical about how they got down the field, and then they'd throw like an 8-yard touchdown or a 12-yard touchdown. But I think Trevor gives you the bomb ability, you know? I mean, you can really throw the deep ball with Trevor and have some big plays and hopefully have some 65-yard touchdown scores along the way. That's an element that offense really didn't have, even though Keelan Cole had some pretty good yards per catch. But it also speaks to the one real struggle that you've seen in practice and even in the games is Trevor Lawrence, this offense in the red zone. Can they come around in the red zone? Because, again, if you go back to 17, They were gifted some things and some short fields, but they were really strong in the red zone. And the Jags right now, I think if I look at my number one problem spot for this football team from an offensive perspective, my concern goes to the red zone. Are they going to be able to cash in? Because I have seen a trend in the practices and also in the games that says they're not going to be able to cash in, and that's all I've got to rely on right now.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on that. I think per player, this team is way better offensively. The parts are way better than 2017, I would say. But is the whole better than in 2017 than it is right here in 2022? Well, that's obviously to be determined. But you would think that this offense has a chance to do things that offense couldn't do just based on talent alone, guys.
Yeah, I keep looking at that defense and going, it covered a lot for that team, even though the offense was good. You know, like you said, it wasn't a dominant offense. It didn't have to be, right? They were scoring. The defense put them in good position to score a lot, too, on a lot of those takeaways, giving them good field position. But the defense ended up scoring, I want to get this right, the defense ended up scoring 7 touchdowns in 2017. I mean, how many total turnovers did this defense have last year?
Yeah, not like none.
I think it was it was like
9.
9 total turnovers versus 7 touchdowns from the defense in 2017. I think it matters a lot more, specifically in the field position department, than maybe we're going to give it credit for, because that offense could move, but they didn't have to. Whereas this offense may have to move the entirety of the field, the whole 80 yards from or 75 yards, depending on a touchback or not.
Yeah. I don't know if I fully believe that, Aaron.
Okay.
Like, I get what you're saying. I think, first of all, that 17 defense was like the 18 Chicago defense and like Indianapolis last year. They got these absurd amount of turnovers, and it's a very lucky stat sometimes. Like it's very hard to count on doing that year after year.
Yeah.
When you do it to an absurd level, and the Jags defense did do that. But I do think this defense has the capability to give the Jags some of those opportunities. They might score a touchdown or 2 defensively. I think they will force some more turnovers and therefore give Trevor and company shorter fields, which we did not see last year or the previous year. And so I do think this defense will at least set up the offense better than we've seen the last couple of seasons. But I would buy into what you're saying is you can't rely on them to set up the offense like that team did.
Yeah.
I mean, that team, they just did some amazing things. And I mean, that one might have been like a once in 20 years kind of defense for a specific team. I mean, we've seen it bounce around other teams in the league, but like the Jags might not have that productive a defense for the next 20 years, even if they're good.
Crazy dominant.
Just crazy good. And again, big play. And Yannick Ngakoue strip sack and Telvin Smith's interception. Like, you're going to see some of that. I just don't think you'll see the amount of it that you saw in 2017.
The 55 sacks from 2017 would have tied for the league in the lead last year as well. 12 fumbles forced, 21 interceptions. I mean, it was just insane.
Yeah, crazy. And so I think we'll see more of it than the last couple of years. I don't think we'll see that kind. But can the offense make up for some because they're just better?
Yeah.
Like the Jags offense has better players, in my estimation, than they've had in my entire time here. Better players, more explosive players, more proven players, more, discussed players and respected players around the league, dangerous players, playmakers. Like,
more
they
better.
actually have them. They're more better.
They're just more better.
There are real pieces there, man.
And that, I don't think I'm fabricating that. I think that's real.
Yeah.
And so, all right, I got one other thing that was on my plate today. From a blue chip standpoint, as I say that, there's not enough guys that have proven to be elite. Brendan Sheriff is guy, right? Brendan Sheriff has Pro Bowls and accolades. Like, he's a blue chip guy.
Yep.
On offense, let's go there. Blue chip potential. I'm not going to even give you the rest of the offensive line because I don't know. I mean, maybe Luke Fortner becomes this great center. I don't know. I'm not buying into that. But Christian Kirk, they signed him to be a blue chip player, guys. Like, that could be a potential blue chipper. Trevor Lawrence, they drafted him to be a blue chipper.
Oh, yeah.
Travis Etienne, they drafted him to be a blue chipper. So even if I'm conservative, you could buy the stock in those 3 players, and then you already got the proven guy in Sheriff on offense. And now on the defensive side, Aluakin we just saw talk today. And he is that. Like, he's that kind of player. Like, how many people are better than him in the league at his spot. I think Casey brought this up. Maybe you did, Aaron, a couple weeks ago when we were talking about Lewikin being under the radar. And people just don't talk about middle linebackers very often.
Yeah, it's not as sexy, yeah.
But he is that good of a player. At least he's proven it the last couple of years, and the Jags are banking on it. And then you can get excited about a lot of other guys. Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, Tyson Campbell. So I gave you 4 guys on offense.
Cisco.
One that's proven, and 4 guys on defense. See, I don't think I could go there with Cisco yet, Casey. You got to see it. So I'm not doing a blind faith.
Logan Cook.
Logan Cook is a blue chip punter.
I think to me it depends on what blue chip means to you. Are you talking like Pro Bowl level athlete,
Yes.
or are you talking like
Yes.
just a star on the team?
No. You star on this team is relative. Like, you've got to be relative to the league.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, that's what we're looking for. That's how you get better. And so, yeah, I don't care about like Evan Ingram might be the best tight end in team history by the end of this year, numbers wise. Like, he really might. But I'm not sure he's a blue chip tight end.
Yeah.
He's not Kittle. He's not Kelsey. He's not Gronk. You know, nobody's going there with him. So, but he might be relative to this team, like the best thing they've had in ever. But I do think, like, Josh Allen should have some Pro Bowls to his name. I think he already has one. I think Aluakin's going to have and wants to have Pro Bowls to his name.
Oh, yeah.
I think Trayvon Walker, better have Pro Bowls to his name.
You hope
And
so.
I think Tyson Campbell might be on his way to being that guy. So, I mean, you can start making the case for other guys. I haven't seen enough of Devin Lloyd to know in the NFL, but we might talk ourselves into that soon. I mean, the Jags might have like 4 blue chip guys on defense and maybe more down the road if people surprise us or blossom. And they might have 4 blue chip guys on offense if these guys live up to what they're supposed to be. Etienne, Trevor, and Kirk. And
if that's
pretty good, man.
If that ends up working out for the team and you're looking at multiple Pro Bowlers on both sides of the ball, suddenly the Jaguars are out of the conversation of being a joke of the league and are perennial playoff threats.
Well, that's the whole kind of point of the conversation, right? Like, the 2017 thing was more about, okay, what can it be this year? The blue chip conversation is about what it could be for the next 3 to 5 to however many years, depending on how many you can keep, how many of those guys you can keep. And I've always been a big believer that I think you need, if you look at some of the really good teams, I think you need like 2 to 4 players, not always 4. 2 might be able to get it done on each side of the ball if you're going to be perennially good. Like, take a look at, let's just say, Cincinnati. And you guys can help me out here. But on offense, like, it's obviously Joe Burrow played like that. Jamar Chase looks to be that. And I would probably put Higgins in the conversation.
You can put Joe Mixon in there, too.
I don't know.
You don't think so? He's a top running back in the league.
Listen, these are got to be hard cuts, man. Blue chip is special. Like, Joe Mixon, he's good, but is he like, I don't know, man. Like, Alvin Kamara's blue chip. Joe Mixon.
Just to confirm, though, we're saying ETN is and Joe Mixon's not. Like that.
No, I did not say he is. I said you hope that he is.
And while Mixon has had some injury issues in terms of how many games he's played throughout his career, last year was his best. He did go to the Pro Bowl last year, but clearly Cincinnati wants to throw that ball, so maybe Mixon's not getting the attention he normally
maybe
deserves.
Hey, by the way, if we had this argument 3 years ago about Mixon, you might be right. But last year he didn't play like a blue chipper. They didn't need him to, really. You know what I mean?
No.
You think he's a blue chip guy, Joe Mixon?
Aaron just told you he was a Pro Bowler last year, and you just say he didn't play that well. So what are we talking about?
I didn't say he didn't play that well. I said they threw the ball a lot. And they're not moving forward with him being like, hey, you're my focus of the offense. Travis Etienne is going to be a focal point of the offense. Alvin Kamara has been a focal point of the offense.
Yeah.
The focal point of the offense in Cincinnati is Joe Burrow and Chase and Higgins.
Okay.
I mean, I think it is.
Yeah, I would call.
Listen, I'm just debating on maybe everybody would put Mixon in. Where are you picking him in fantasy? Top 10 guy?
I don't want to see you have
He's
him.
a top 10 running
Don't
back,
even
yeah.
consider drafting him. I'll kick you out of the league for all this slander.
I would put Burrow as a blue chipper. I would put Jamar Chase as a blue chipper. I think we could argue a little bit about Higgins, but he certainly deserves some mention there. If it was up to me, I would be putting Mixon in the conversation. But I've been burned by him before. I understand people who are careful on it. Like, until last year, he had never ran more than 1,100 yards, and previous to last year in 2020, he only ran for 428 because he had injury concerns, and he's never even played more than 15 games in a season. Before that, 13 games. So I get not being on the field, not being as reliable as maybe some of the other guys, but certainly
He had
talented.
13 touchdowns last year, though. That's pretty damn good.
And they threw to him a lot, too. He had 42 receptions. So.
All right, let's put him in the category then.
Okay.
So they've got
You're
4.
unbelievable. The character change on you is crazy. Anyway.
Listen, everyone's allowed to look and learn and do these things.
I don't mind being wrong on a guy. I didn't feel like that. I don't feel like he is what they're going to be for the next 3 years. Like I said, you need 2 to 4 core guys for the next few years. I think they're throwing the football all around.
I agree.
But based off his numbers last year, I mean, when you're giving it to him and he's taking all the reps inside the 10 and getting 13 touchdowns, I mean, the numbers say he is. Because, listen, if ETN gets 1,200 yards and 13 touchdowns, he's a blue-chip guy. So I don't mind being wrong, Casey.
And
you just don't like to admit when you're wrong. That's why you're still stuck on Matthew Wright.
That's accurate. But previous to last year, Mixon also had that handcuff in Gio Bernard, who was playing pretty well out there. So,
okay, so what about defensively for Cincinnati?
Yeah, so really the only
Obviously,
guy.
Logan Wilson was awesome last year.
Yeah, Logan and then Jesse Bates, but like not too
And
many
he's back
others.
he's back in camp now, and he's
Begrudgingly, he's not happy about it.
Because they kind of did it with like a no-name defense. But
They
hey,
really did.
But you fit, like, again, I said 2. Like, I think you can get away with 2 guys. And Logan Wilson might be a blue-chip player. I mean, he proved last year he was awesome.
Yeah, he had a great year, yeah.
And Bates is kind of that guy. He's put the resume together now. And maybe somebody else would argue somebody on their defense, like one of their guys up front.
Well, they've got Eli Apple. Obviously, he's pretty good.
He was a Giants blue-chip guy. They hoped. So, anyway, I just look around and maybe we'll take a closer look around the AFC South. How many blue-chip guys do they have? And, again, this will be a fun conversation because somebody might think Matt Ryan's still a blue-chip guy.
Oh, man.
I tend to not think Matt Ryan's still a blue chip.
Dangerous line
you
of
were
thinking.
0 for 1 already today, so.
Casey, you calling Matt Ryan a blue chipper?
I don't know. I haven't decided. I might character change like Brent.
Might have to blow the dust off that chip.
He's better than what they've had. I don't know if that makes him blue chip. We'll figure that out.
All right.
All right, we keep talking about it. I wonder how many, and maybe I'm off because now I'm wrong. Maybe you need 4 to 6 guys. Because look at the Rams won a Super Bowl and they had they're loaded.
They were stacked, yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe you need more than 2 to 4. But I'm not also talking about just winning Super Bowls. I'm talking about perennially being a contender.
Yep.
And so that's why I think Cincinnati's interesting here, like going forward. Did that defense outplay kind of their talent last year?
I think a lot of people feel that way. And I think a lot of people are thinking that they're not going to come close to making it back there.
Yeah, and I think part of that is because we've seen the Jags, we've seen Chicago, and oh, by the way, Cincinnati has been the Bungles for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so are they going to bungle again, or are they this new, fresh set of underwear? And the Bengals.
Nice.
We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Scattered heavy storms into this evening. Some fog later tonight will drop into the low to mid 70s. A mix of clouds and sun for your Friday. Scattered heavy showers and thunderstorms will redevelop for at least some neighborhoods. Highs reach the upper 80s. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, zero interest financing with nothing down.
Hey, boss. Here's the latest in the Crooks R Us newsletter about the rise in Safe Touch security sales this summer.
Great. More Safe Touch houses. That's just what we need.
Huh. It's no wonder. Listen to this headline. Safe Touch provides peace of mind for when the kids come home from school.
Never home alone. See, this is why I hate Safe Touch. They're like a big tattletale.
But imagine being a parent who can't be home all day. Just knowing Safe Touch security will notify you when your kid gets home safe and sound. That's gotta be big.
I don't like kids.
Never home alone and never away from home. That's why Safe Touch signs are popping up all over the place.
Yeah, which makes our job even harder because we gotta stick to the Crooks R Us golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses. I'm just numb to it by now.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Something big is in the cards. Best Bet is coming soon to St. Augustine. This summer, experience the best in world-class poker, simulcast wagering, and fun card games for all levels at our new location in St. Augustine. This new Best Bet location will also feature a state-of-the-art sports bar with large flat-screen TVs, delicious wings, and a full-service bar. Located on 800 Marketplace Drive, right off exit 311. For opening updates about Best Bet St. Augustine, go to bestbetjacks.com.
Not 100, not 200, not even 300. I'm talking 400 pre-owned on the lot, ready to test drive at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. All makes, all models, all waiting for you to test drive and take home today. Plus, Arlington's 30-day exchange program comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Your next great ride is waiting for you at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Shop in person, 10939 Atlanta Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
If you've been involved in a car accident and are not sure of your legal options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Celsius Essential Energy is Jacksonville's official energy drink of summer, and Jacksonville summers are fueled by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about this summer, come grab an ice-cold Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
Hey, Jim! Thanks for coming.
Are you kidding? I never miss one of your dinner parties. How's the new job?
Somehow we're doing great, and I stopped working weekends. Thanks to how smooth everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic. We're still using QuickBooks.
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
We're making QuickBooks work, sort of.
Shh! Watch your language. The kids are right there. Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since upgrading from QuickBooks to NetSuite.
Yeah, sounds like it's time for me to switch to NetSuite. Over 31,000 businesses already use NetSuite. And for a limited time, NetSuite has extended their one-of-a-kind financing program offer to those ready to upgrade at netsuite.com/play. Head to netsuite.com/play for this extended special financing offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. netsuite.com/play.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Blue Star medicated ointment gets 5-star reviews from our loyal users for fast relief of the pain and itch of almost any skin irritation.
Blue Star soothes insect bites and fungal infections.
It really works on the summer rashes I get every year.
I had psoriasis on my elbows. Blue Star worked wonders.
Amazing stuff. Smear a bit on and the itch is gone.
Look for the white box with the Blue Star in the first aid section. Feel Blue Star work fast, or your money back.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690, and you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe.
I think right now for the long haul, I'd take Patrick Mahomes because obviously he's just now reaching the peak of his career where Aaron's on the downside of it. But yeah, please. If I had one of those two guys as my quarterback, I'd still be coaching right now. So that would have been fine.
How many Super Bowls would you have, Rex?
Dude, that Brady Belichick thing wouldn't even be a conversation, man. But yeah, I wish I had that opportunity as every coach in the NFL does. But yeah, these are special talents.
My guy.
That's Rex Ryan. Every coach, by the way, that doesn't have the quarterback blames their track record on the fact that they don't have that quarterback.
Easy, Brent. He has a good point. He had Mark Sanchez.
And he got a lot out of Sanchez, too.
He took the team to 2 AFC championships with this guy.
Well, listen, I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm just saying I think it's interesting. I always find it interesting in this football league of accountability how sometimes unaccountable people are when – what hits the fan. Like when people are about to get fired, they point fingers at everybody else, or it's like, I was a great coach, really, but we didn't have enough good players.
I'm about to walk off the show.
You should prove a point. Walk off, storm off.
In
a huff.
Casey,
yes, sir.
Tell them the reality of the situation. The show will go on.
Yeah, the show will go on.
Really?
The show will just continue.
Boy, do I know it.
Yeah.
All right, hey, I'm on blue chip players. And I'm going to the Colts on the AFC South. I feel like they got a bunch of them.
Oh, man. I mean, a ton of them.
Like, you guys would say Matt Ryan, right? You guys going to say Matt Ryan?
I would not.
No?
No, I would not.
At this stage, right?
Yeah,
I'm talking about this stage, right?
Yeah, I'm talking in 2022, Matt Ryan will be serviceable. I don't think he's throwing for 4,000 yards. I don't think he's throwing for 25 touchdowns.
Whoa.
I think he's helping this team to make the playoffs, and that's about as far as I'll go with it.
Casey, should we put him in blue chip category for 22?
I won't put him blue chip, but those two stats that Aaron just said, he will eclipse. 25 touchdowns and 4,000 yards, he will be better than that.
Put it on the board.
25 touchdowns is not easy, especially if they're giving it to Jonathan Taylor a bunch. Jonathan Taylor, by the way, is a blue chipper.
Oh, yeah.
So is Quentin Nelson. Would Ryan Kelly
Nelson.
would probably another offensive lineman too, but is like I don't know how is Ryan Kelly getting Pro Bowls and stuff?
I'd have to look up the
I don't know if there's another one on their line. Their line has been good.
Yeah, actually, Ryan Kelly's a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, so he might be in that category. I think people would consider. And then how about Michael Pittman?
Yeah,
Has he
MPJ.
arrived enough?
Yes.
Has he arrived enough?
Yes.
I don't know that I call him a blue chipper yet, but I know Casey's a believer.
Leave the show then, MPJ.
I know Casey's a believer.
Well, and by the way, in full fairness here, the context of this when we did it for the Jags was potential blue chippers.
Okay.
And so I think Michael Pittman, you can buy into.
I can.
Him being that guy. And so, listen, depending on how you feel about Matt Ryan, I'm leaving him off this list. You could say there's a solid 1, 2, 3, 4 on offense. That's without Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
And then you go to defense.
Did you count Quentin Nelson, by the way?
Cakes,
I did, yeah.
All right.
And then you got DeForest Buckner,
Monster.
Darius Darius Leonard,
Monster.
Stephon Gilmore,
Monster.
who was added to their roster.
That's a great corner. What?
You don't think he would be in that category?
What?
Well, I mean, it's been a while since he was good on the Patriots. He was okay with the Panthers. They traded him for a 6th-round pick and then didn't re-sign him.
Yeah, so maybe he's not in 22.
But on the Panthers, he's out there on an island by himself. On the Colts, he's got help.
Yeah, but he's been very good.
The Colts secondary is trash.
You got to be like really good. So I see what you're saying, Casey. I mean, I think you could kind of get him off the blue chip and down to the green chip or whatever it is next.
The green chip,
Jan?
I like that.
What do you guys think about Jan? Just on the edge, not yet, not really.
I don't know, Brent. We did this. Remember, before Aaron was here, we did this the Jan sack thing, and they're actually pretty good.
They are pretty good, but I mean, what's he got? 1 Pro Bowl?
Yeah,
now,
he doesn't really get the
5
respect.
6 seasons? Like, that's not going to fall into blue chip category.
I still think he's got the talent to do it.
Between Jan and Gilmore, we give them 1.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
I like that. Halves. Now we're giving halves.
You guys are disrespecting long snapper Luke Rhodes right now.
Why, is he like a perennial
He was a Pro Bowler, yeah.
Give him a half.
I'm not counting him. All right, so anyway, that gives you an idea. That's 1, 2, 3, like that's somewhere between like 7 and 8 on the Colts.
Can I just pause for one more second? Because I forgot all about Kenny Moore last year, who came out of nowhere.
Kenny Moore was good.
And made the Pro Bowl. He's a corner, so he's playing across from Stephen Gilmore. How is Stephen Gilmore not going to have an amazing season?
Because he's put it on the board. He's not. I don't know. Like, he's past his prime, bro. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I forgot about Kenny Moore. It's a good call.
You might be able to get into an 8 category. Again, I just don't know if 1 Pro Bowl makes you a blue chip guy. You can have a really good year.
Okay.
But you could also buy the stock, like, because that's what we're doing here a little bit. I don't know if then maybe they would if they had this conversation in Indianapolis. All right, I'm not even going to go to Houston, but I do want to do Tennessee. And Tennessee, what, you want me to do Houston?
No, it's okay. Let's go to Tennessee.
I mean, there's not much to do on Houston.
Let's just go to Tennessee.
All right, so Derrick Henry,
the king,
obvious.
the king.
Where else we go? I mean, do you guys count Taylor Lewan here?
No.
I mean, is he just like a character and bad boy, or is he like really that good?
He's pretty good, but I'm
not going to call him a blue chip, though.
I will let you guys make that decision.
I know you love Robert Woods, but would you put him in blue chip category?
If he's healthy, he's like a top 15 wide receiver. But if I'm not going to give it to Michael Pittman at this point, I can't necessarily call.
Well, but we gave it to
Robert
Pittman.
Woods.
You said you could buy into Pittman. So if you think Robert Woods is a top 15 guy, then I would say that's a blue chip guy.
Then I'm calling him a blue chip. I do think he's a top 15 wide receiver.
They call him
especially with the
Robert.
focus.
Yeah, we'll go Woods.
So that's like three guys, depending on how you feel about player like Ben Jones or other guard play. Like, I don't really know enough. I mean, their offensive line's physical, but is it like great? I don't know. How about defensively? Jeffrey Simmons has worked himself into that category, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Bud Dupree is not.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think he is. I don't think anybody would buy that after what they've seen so far in his career. Kevin Byard is a
Byard,
yeah, he's a blue chip safety. He's on a big deal.
Did you say Jeffrey Simmons? Did you say that name?
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, we said Simmons.
Sorry.
So you look at their roster, like, I don't know.
They only got 4 blue chippers. What bums? We got 8.
But that's about right. Again, if you're in Nashville right now, maybe you fight for a couple other guys, like we're fighting for some Jags players. So, and I'm just not around their team enough to know, like, if they – but they don't jump out at you. I mean, that roster in Indianapolis is way better.
Way better than Tennessee, yes.
Like, it really is.
Like, Tennessee desperately needs Derrick Henry to have a huge year for them to do anything. Without the Derrick Henry piece, they're a mediocre offense.
You know, it's crazy. And again, like, I think around here, Doug Peterson doesn't get enough love for, like, who he is as a coach and how he gives the Jags a bit of an advantage in games, potential, like when you line up the coaches.
Yep.
But, and because I hate Tennessee, I don't give this enough thought. But when you say the roster like that, and they have some good players outside that, but when you look at the roster and the amount of games they've won, we just don't give Mike Vrabel enough credit.
Well, he certainly earns it, right?
Well, you take Tennessee's roster, you take the Colts roster, and Tennessee's been better. And Tennessee, and by the way, the Colts have tried better quarterbacks, like on paper, than Tannehill would be. You know, they've tried them. They had Phillip Rivers and Carson Wentz, and you know, and they still don't get it. So there's somewhere in there that culture plays a role. But also, I think that, I guess the moral of this story is, guys, it's easier to catch up with the Tennessee roster than it is the Indianapolis roster.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Like, the Jags could, if the Jags have some finds and some diamonds, and they start to shine a little bit this year.
Stay healthy, maybe, yeah.
We could say at the end of this year, in December, that the Jags have a better roster than the Titans.
You might be able to say it.
I don't think you can say it right now. It's
you
too
don't
unproven.
think so?
No, it's too unproven. I mean, listen, I've done the pie in the sky stuff plenty of times, but I just think they've got to go out and prove that. You know, I mean, I think you can make the case by the end of the year, depending if Trevor makes some big growth, that he's the best quarterback in the division. But you're not going to say that right now. I mean, Matt Ryan, his career,
he's earned that, sure.
You know, has earned the right to be the best quarterback in the division. And quite frankly, Tannehill has had some nice years too.
Do you think Trevor today is a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill?
I would say
it's a tough question.
I think he's going to be this year, but I mean, on a 17-game sample, no. He had 12 touchdowns and 17 picks.
Yeah, but you don't necessarily believe he's 12 and 17, Trevor.
But I
even though that's what he put down last year.
Here's a way to answer your question you're asking. I think if anybody in Nashville for this year could take Ryan Tannehill or Trevor Lawrence, they take Trevor Lawrence.
Oh yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Even just for this year. I'm not talking about for the next 10.
But that's exactly what I'm saying here. So, like, maybe we're all scared to say it out loud because Trevor has improved it and who knows what happens. But I think we're all kind of there already.
Yeah, I think some of it's semantics, to your point. But anyway, I mean, it's...
Real quick, before we get off of the blue chip, I want to report in that the Texans have...
You looked them up.
Yeah, I did this pretty in-depth. I think they have 6.
6 blue chippers?
Or
really?
they're all could-be's, except for Cooks.
That's fair.
All right, let me hear this.
Okay.
What are the names?
Brandon Cooks.
Okay.
Davis Mills.
A blue chipper?
He could be.
Stop
well,
it.
he's the best quarterback of the class. I mean,
Derek Stingley.
Yes.
Okay.
If we're putting Walker, we're putting Stingley. I hate to tell you.
Okay.
No,
Laramie
that's fair.
Laramie Tunsil.
Yeah.
Good point. No, he already is, actually.
Yeah.
And then this is where things had to go off the rails. Nico Collins.
But you're going to say Rex Burkhead. I was about to throw something.
I like Nico Collins and Jonathan Grenard.
I think you're stretching here, man.
I think they're all almost could-be's, right? Cooks is proven and Tunsil's proven, but the other 4 of them are could-be's. By the way, does anybody want to guess how many sacks Jonathan Grenard had last year?
Yeah, probably had like a dozen.
He had 8, but it's pretty good for Houston. He's the only guy rushing the passer for this team.
It's one-man rush.
It's a one-man operation.
He's
Okay.
a nice find. Did they get him in like the 5th round or something?
Yeah, he was late. He was late out of the University of Florida.
Out of Florida, yeah.
I wouldn't call him a blue chipper at this point.
Well, I think, again, I think there's a difference. But he did have a nice year. So that's, you said Cooks. I think Mills, not many people would buy into that, but he certainly has set the table to maybe have a big second year, We don't talk about Houston much at all. We dismiss Mills, and he's kind of in the same situation as Trevor. He's got a new coaching staff.
He does.
And he
weapons.
arguably played the best out of all the quarterbacks last year. I'd say Mac Jones, probably people would say. But Mills had some really nice moments last year.
He really did.
He had more nice moments than Trevor, Zach, Justin Fields.
He played well enough that they didn't go out and replace him.
It's true. And I'll tell you this, though. If anybody on the Texans gets a sack that's not Grenard, it's going to be incredible because these boys are something else.
I just want to point out, though, when we're talking about Davis Mills, before we anoint him, that
I'm not anointing.
I know. You're talking about he had nice moments. So when you juxtapose that against how great a blue chipper is, a Pro Bowler is, a dominant force in the league is, and then you look at Davis Mills and you go, well, here's a guy who had some nice moments. It doesn't jive to me. The 2,500 yards, 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions,
Didn't
great
play the
first
whole
year.
time.
I get it. And he's a rookie, and that roster was garbage, so I get all of that. But and maybe he does. Maybe he develops into this great quarterback. I find it hard to
the
believe.
only thing is, for the nature of this story, if we're going to include Trevor, then I think you can make the case that you can include, if you're a big Mills fan, you could include him in that list because we've seen just about the same, if not a little less from Trevor, but we're still willing to say that. And so I think the nature of it's okay, and then we'll see how it pans out. I mean, listen, there are probably 3 other guys I could make a case for on the Jags that I left off the table. I mean, a guy like Devin Lloyd. I mean, they hope he is, right?
Yeah, if you're putting
First-round
Davis
guy.
Mills on this list or you're putting Trayvon on this, I mean, I would put Devin Lloyd on there too.
Yeah, but I'm not. I didn't. Because you can't say every guy's going to hit. And we haven't seen anything out of him. Like, I think early stages of Trayvon Walker, we think that's a pretty damn good pick.
Yep.
And if he is a damn good pick, then he's going to be like a blue chip kind of player.
You put James McCord on that blue chip list or no?
The kicker. 8 for 8. He's blue chipper
There
today.
it is. Hall of Fame, here we come.
We take a break. One more segment from here. Then Action Sports Shacks OT coming up with Casey Kurtz, Brian Middleton on a Thursday. Off to the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. After that, as we get closer and closer to preseason game number 4 in the Atlanta area coming up on Saturday. You can watch that game on Fox 30. We are now just a day away from the Blitz Scoreboard Show and a first night of real high school football. That comes up tomorrow, 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. The Blitz Scoreboard Show presented by Nimnick Buick GMC and Baker Sports. Can't wait to get going on our show tomorrow night at 9 p.m. We'll be right back on ESPN 690.
Tobacco-free Florida knows how hard it is to quit nicotine, which is why we offer different quit options to choose from for free, like 24/7 quit coaches available over the phone, free online resources, and free 2-week starter kits of quit aids. We're even experimenting with 80s pop music.
You know it's time, no more cigarettes and you'll be fine. A full commitment to quit is the plan. Time to get the pack out your hand. It's the perfect time for you to quit and say, I'm giving you up, giving you up, giving you up. I'm letting you never come back to stone. I'll never come back, never come back to stone. I'll never come back. I'm giving you up, giving you up, giving you up. I'm letting you never come back to stone. I'll never come back to stone. Never coming back.
The singing, are we 100% on that, or you're not going to use it? Good. You know, maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
It's where I take my family to play golf, and you can take yours as well. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the home of the Action Sports Shack Stream 18, and it can be your golf destination. Enjoy your golf experience by calling 287-PLAY, 287-PLAY. Play some golf or maybe practice some golf at one of the newest facilities in the area. Grab some lunch or dinner, too. Southampton has it all. 287-PLAY for tee times and more. The Golf Club at Southampton, the home of the Dream 18. My home course. Make it your home course, too.
There are 16 spots in the playoffs and just one track left. Well, not just any track. Daytona. A last chance to keep playoff hopes alive and for fans to experience an event unlike any other. NASCAR Weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 26th and 27th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
UFP Folkestone, the #1 site-built construction plant in Georgia, is now hiring for multiple departments. We've been around since 2016, and we're located in, you guessed it, Folkestone, Georgia. Around here, we're more than just coworkers. We're like family. And we're part of an international family of companies with a long history of promoting from within. So if you like to work hard and get rewarded for it, this is the place for you. Check out our openings at ufpi.com/careers.
If you've been thinking about a new Toyota, then stop thinking and start buying during the national sales event going on now at Arlington Toyota. And check this out. Arlington's got 500 new Toyotas available, and that makes now the perfect time to slip into a new ride. Plus, you get 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it, and a lifetime warranty with your new Toyota purchase. So stop thinking and start buying. Even better, start your engine. It's the national sales event at Arlington Toyota. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Celsius Essential Energy is Jacksonville's official energy drink of summer, and Jacksonville summers are fueled by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about this summer, come grab an ice-cold Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
Be confident you're in control of your banking with free digital tools, fewer fees, and a team that's ready to help. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-511-3535. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider, 800-511-3535. That's 800-511-3535. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-511-3535.
Touch a Truck is back. Join us August 27th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. with fire trucks, food trucks, police cars, and more. All at Brooks Family YMCA off Centurion Parkway. For more info, visit ESPN690.com and follow us on Facebook at Touch a Truck Jacks.
It's kind of weird that we're just down the road from the Tour Championship. Could be at the golf tournament today, Casey.
Ooh, good. Didn't get invited to Atlanta, so that's one. But, yeah, you could be there, right?
Yeah, that's a good event. Great golf course.
Good event.
Good event. Great golf.
Casey, you notice a theme happening here? You weren't invited to
I'm
Ohio.
never invited anywhere. I pretty much am not allowed anywhere that Brent's allowed because I embarrass him. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean,
it's okay.
Partial truth. I mean,
you know, it's okay.
there's probably a little bit of that in there.
You know, a lot of people say that they have fun around me. You know, it's a good time.
Nobody says this.
I'm an enjoyable person to be around. But, you know, that's fine, Brent. I don't need to go to these places. It's cool. You're just having a worse time than you would have had. That's all it is.
That's it. Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, Aaron Schachter. Casey's going to have a heck of a time in a couple minutes when he joins Brian Middleton for Action Sports Shacks OT.
Hey, allegedly.
Casey, are you a blue chipper?
What do you think?
I don't think you are, no.
You want to push this again? Okay?
I'm struggling.
Do you guys want to find out if I'm a blue chipper or not? Bring in some other schmuck to and produce this show and find out who's a blue chipper. Okay? Ha! Yeah. Good one.
We got Middleton.
Scotty
Middleton's a blue chipper.
Scotty Scheffler, by the way,
You
13 under. Matt Fitzpatrick, 9 under. Xander Schauffele, 9 under. If you're just catching up, the big story around the NFL, Aaron Donald throwing haymakers with helmets.
Mayhem.
And maybe a suspension looms now after a joint practice with the Bengals and the Rams. And that is a big story coming out of the NFL. Here, the big story is James McCourt, 8 for 8 on field goals.
Great.
I got fresh underwear on.
Oh, that's great.
It tickles me every time.
Cock Commander could be the new Rooster mascot for South Carolina.
There's a lot of big things happening.
Exactly.
There's a lot
You got any
happening.
more? Do you have any more that you wrote down? We just want to make sure you get through all three.
I
of
had
those.
literally 25 of them, but we brushed right past it, didn't we? Gonna dad out.
We'll talk a little NASCAR tomorrow, by the way. Kurt Busch out of the mix. So that's now 2 playoff spots for Daytona this weekend.
Big
And
race.
if you're been listening for the last 3 hours, you see the title, you're like, they never talked about Chet Holmgren. We'll do that on Action Sports Jack's Overtime because Brian Middleton was high on him. So now we'll see how he feels.
I knew there was something else. That's all right. Hey, the chat doesn't go away, so you can still
chat does not
deliver.
go away.
You can still deliver on the headline of the day.
And we will do that in about 5 minutes and 20 seconds time. Be here for it.
All right, for Aaron Schachter, Casey Kurtz, I'm Brent Martineau. Tomorrow, the show will not be from Flowery Branch. Instead, it might be from Thomaston, Georgia. I say might. The plan is to head to Trayvon Walker's hometown for a Friday edition of Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Casey and Brian up next with OT on ESPN 690.
Back in the day, crime was someone stealing something off the patio. Today, it's violent crime. Oftentimes, the bad guys hack into cameras and doorbells, steal your privacy, and break into your house while you or your loved ones are home. Criminals today are much smarter and more violent. You simply cannot fight today's criminals with do-it-yourself alarms. That's why you need a safe touch security and surveillance system with its 5 layers of detection and protection. Number 1, the safe touch sign. Crooks know to stay away from safe touch houses. Number 2, cameras using analytic technology that alerts the bad guys they are on camera while simultaneously alerting you, the homeowner. Number 3, entry alerts that notify Safe Touch before the bad guys even enter. Number 4, the exclusive Safe Touch two-way communicator that immediately alerts local emergency authorities. And number 5, the Safe Touch central monitoring center that is right here and not in some remote out-of-state location. Don't delay. Demand is at an all-time high. Call and receive professional installation at no charge. 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com, state license EF233.
People who call QC Kinetics are pretty much fed up with joint pain.
It's to the point where it's affecting their quality of life. Maybe they can't pick up their grandchildren anymore, or golf, or play tennis, or walk with their friends.
Dr. Justin Garzone, medical director at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, giving lasting joint pain relief with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery.
The great thing about our therapies, there isn't any downtime. There's no side effects, so patients can get our treatment and continue on with their day-to-day life.
And Dr. Garzone speaks from experience. He had excruciating back pain and got relief at a QC Kinetics clinic.
Over a very short period of time, the pain went away completely, and I've had absolutely no symptoms or pain since my treatment.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
Something big is in the cards. Best Bet is coming soon to St. Augustine. This summer, experience the best in world-class poker, simulcast wagering, and fun card games for all levels at our new location in St. Augustine. This new Best Bet location will also feature a state-of-the-art sports bar with large flat-screen TVs, delicious wings, and a full-service bar. Located on 800 Marketplace Drive, right off exit 311. For opening updates about Best Bet St. Augustine, go to bestbetjacks.com.
Koala insulation.
Hey, I'm
I'm Carrie. And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. That summer heat's right around the corner, and so are those high energy bills. Don't just sweat it out. Do something about it. Call Koala Insulation today for your free evaluation. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation. Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Left-hander Nestor Cortez will go on the IL with a groin injury. Cortez is 9-4 this season for New York with an ERA under 3. The Astros put closer Ryan Presley on the IL today with neck spasms. Bryce Harper will play for the Phillies tomorrow night. He was out 2 months with a broken left thumb. Thunder rookie Chet Holmgren will miss the upcoming season with a right foot Lisfranc injury. The 7-1 center got hurt trying to defend LeBron James at a Pro-Am game in Seattle. ESPN's Stefania Bell.
Surgical repair is what will happen, and then it's a lengthy recovery. It can be 4 to 6 months to get all the way back from it. But the good news is once it's repaired and once you get reconditioned and readapt to the sport, you should be fine going forward.
Stefania Bell. Holmgren was the second pick in this year's draft. The Lakers finalize a trade with the Jazz to get guard Patrick Beverly. In return, Utah gets Talen Horton-Tucker and Stanley Johnson.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. And now, a no-frills ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You can save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? Just a good old-fashioned, straightforward ad. See if you can save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE or Progressive.com.
Action Sports, Jack's Overtime, ESPN 690. We back on the airwaves after a day off yesterday, thanks to Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. By the way, coming up in about 45 minutes time, but we'll get you set until that point. Casey Kurtz, Brian Middleton, who has just walked in. On time, sorta, not really. Show already started, so we're playing the traffic either way.
Heavy and slow goes your drive as you make your way through St. Johns County this evening, I-95 northbound. An earlier crash after International Golf Parkway that's been there for over 2 hours now is still blocking the left lane. Road rangers and police are on scene as well as tow trucks. Right now, it's over an hour to get from State Road 16 up to the Beltway. The good news is if you can hop on to US 1, you can cut down that drive time by about 45 minutes. And then Mandarin drivers heading into Orange Park is less than 10 minutes to get from the 95 exits over the Buckman out to Blanding. With Jacksonville's most frequent traffic, I'm Brian Middleton.
45 minutes? An hour? 2 hours? What's going on, Brian Middleton, with the traffic?
Yeah, I won't bore you with it, but when a semi is involved,
oh yeah,
they got to get a special tow truck. And apparently, I guess all of those tow trucks are like,
busy.
I don't know. It's like 3 of them in Florida. So,
what? Yeah, that does make sense, actually. Like at first I was like, and then I'm like, I get it. Anyway, Brian Middleton, welcome back to the show.
Casey Lamont Kurtz, man.
I did a show without you. Then we had a day off. I haven't talked to you since like Monday. Where you been?
Casey's like, look, man, I'm getting comfortable like this. I think I can do this right now.
Very uncomfortable.
Hey, you gotta talk to you in the break. But yeah, man, hey, it's good to be back. Special election coverage.
Oh, that's what you were doing.
And to be there, they had a traffic alert. I almost texted you during this, and I was like, I could have been in an alternate universe. Casey Kurtz, I was over here doing the show.
Wow.
Because honestly,
yeah, you could have been doing it.
Yeah, I could have been doing the show after sitting there now and like babysitting that particular area. But it was all good.
It's okay.
It's all good.
You know, we
It was
had
a good time.
We had a subpar show without you, and by we I mean me. But listen, we got a good 45 coming in here. Today. We got plenty to talk about. Aaron Donald's hitting people with his helmet.
There you
I don't know if you saw that video, but that did happen today. Chet Holmgren, a guy that I believe you were a big supporter of, is now out for the season. We haven't talked about that yet today. We got some other stuff to do also before Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. But, Brian Middleton, I've made the decision that we start with Chet Holmgren, mostly because Jags, nothing really that exciting. Practice with Atlanta.
Y'all are jagged out.
Everybody healthy. You know what I mean? Like, there's no major storyline to bring you there, which we would. But the major storyline of the day is in the NBA, and Chet Holmgren will miss the entire season.
The entire season.
The number 2 pick in the draft for the Oklahoma City Thunder will not play basketball this year. He was injured in a non-Thunder practice game.
He got too close to the GOAT.
He did.
He got too close to the GOAT.
And if you don't know, and you're like, what is he talking about? Well, he literally got hurt trying to block a shot from LeBron James.
That's why he's the GOAT. Have you seen that meme?
I've seen that meme.
That's why he's the GOAT.
So I guess let's start there.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
before we talk about the Oklahoma City part of it.
All right.
There's a lot of differing opinions because he was not hurt with the Thunder, although it's an NBA sanctioned event.
Right.
And if LeBron asks you to do anything, you're probably going to play. So and I don't know if okay is the right word, but are we mad that he was hurt in a non-Thunder activity? Or is that just where we are now with the game, where you're playing pickup games with LeBron James and you know what? Like, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
So you're not mad about it being outside of the Thunder facility?
I mean, well, no, because it's not a guy. Okay, you're right. I'm high on him, and my reasoning was because my boy, the GM of OKC, Presti, he don't miss with these high lottery picks not often. So if this guy from OKC is saying that, okay, I believe in him, then I'm like, all right, I'm going to believe in him until he proves me wrong. And he could prove me wrong, but that's not where we're at right now. But listen, the guy is going to be playing basketball, and he's not like my number one guy. He's not on the Heat. He's not LeBron. Like, I'm just like, okay, yeah, he was trying to play. He's trying to get better, and you're right. If it's something where, I can get on the court, and get some more action, especially if LeBron's there, even if people aren't going 100%. Because on that play, let me just be real with you, it looked like LeBron was jogging. It looked like a slow bop. It didn't, and I'm sure if I was Chet and LeBron was coming right at me, even me being 6'8", I'd be like, oh, no, he's going faster than I thought.
Yeah.
But we've seen these guys go 100%, and that play looked about as benign as you can get on a fast break, quote unquote, where he just lays it up. He doesn't even, throw it home. And so it was an awkward type injury that the big concern I would have, I wouldn't be upset that he got injured outside of the OKC facility or outside of a preseason or a G League or whatever he was playing that was actually in the NBA. It'd be like, okay, we know the what do you call it? Like the cliche, like big men, they get feet problems, they get feet injuries or foot injury. And you hope that that's not going to be something that, you hope this is a one-off.
Yeah.
He landed awkwardly. And stuff like that's going to happen. You hope it doesn't take him out for the whole season, but it does. But you hope this isn't something that becomes chronic, or this is something that, okay, this is the start of something that's like, this is where his foot injury started, and he could have avoided that if he wasn't playing in this. But, you're going to play. The amount of basketball and training that these guys do, okay?
It was going to happen if it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, let them rest up. Let them rest up. Let them, gain about 20 pounds. Tell them, hey, listen, work out, but, get some Chick-fil-A. You don't have to be, Giannis around here, okay? But even KD's gained like, 10 or 15 pounds. Granted, he's been in the league for like 11, 12 years. But I'm just saying, Chet, you can do that too. OKC has barbecue. What is OKC known for? Barbecue?
I couldn't tell you. Never been.
Mexican food?
Ask Corey Simon. He's a fan.
I should, yeah.
He's upset, by the way. So
should have got him on.
We should have tried. Yeah. But anyway, get the soundboard ready, because right now who's looking at this and saying, you know what? We dodged a bullet. Who might be evil laughing just a little bit?
Who?
The Orlando Magic. because this is what we heard. There you go. That's the sound of the Orlando Magic. That's the front office. That's the GM. That's the coach. Because, like, we all thought that the body just, it wasn't going to be able to hold up. And now we don't even get to the preseason and he's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So the Orlando Magic are like, you know what? We didn't pick him. Some people said we made a bad decision. And now look at us. Our guy, healthy. You know, he's not going to miss a season.
Mm-hmm.
So the Orlando Magic are, you know, they're evil laughing. But going now to Oklahoma City in this, how much does this set them back what they're trying to do? Because now you're a year away from getting him on the court. Keep in mind, we don't know if he's good yet. So now you're going to hold that hope that he's good and he's worthy of the number 2 pick. Right. And that the injury, to the point you just made, isn't a chronic one that starts and is a consistent problem that he has to deal with. But if you're Oklahoma City and you're looking at this, you're like, well, now what? Like, how set back, in your opinion, do you think they are?
I don't think they're set back too much at all. I mean, it wasn't like they were vying for a championship or, you know, maybe a fringe playoff team. You know, maybe if a couple of these guys show out, if Giddey comes back and he's the dude that I think he is, and, you know, like the pieces that they have, like maybe they could get into the play-in little part of it.
Yeah.
But nobody on the grand scale, I don't think that this knocks them off too much. Yeah, you're right. That year is just going to be like, well, okay, it's going to be a lot of what if now. But if I'm OKC, I'm just like, listen, we're going to put the team we got out there, and they'll grow. And then, you know, Chet, we'll make sure that we give him the best training, or however they do that. I don't know if he's going to get his own guys as well, or if he's going to reach out. Maybe he talks to, you know, someone like LeBron, or maybe he talks to someone like Joel Embiid, or, you know, I don't know how chummy these guys get,
a good one. Yeah.
and be like, hey, you know, can you kind of point me in the direction of who you worked with or whatnot? I don't know if they do stuff like that, but he'll be all right as far as getting back on the court. Like, I think that this was just landing awkwardly.
Unlucky.
And if it was going to happen, if it didn't happen then, it was going to happen in October. You know, when the season started, it was going to happen in December or something like that. So just get it out the way right now. He's getting the stuff out the way right now so that he can drop 60 on y'all heads when he comes back in 2027, whenever he comes back.
Yeah. By the way, I am a believer in that. Like, if the Fernando Tatis, you get hurt and you miss half the season because you hurt your wrist falling off a motorcycle, that wasn't going to happen. But, like, if you get hurt training and, like, playing basketball, like, that was, you know, like, I chalk that up. Like, you know what, you get hurt. If I'm an Oklahoma City Thunder fan, like, I know some are mad. Like, oh, you were somewhere else playing basketball. Like, no. But if he gets hurt to the Fernando Tatis part of it, then you can be mad. Because that's irresponsible.
Because all the reps that he's going to be getting now, if he had gotten hurt at, like, Brooks YMCA.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, or
we can't be doing that.
At Bailey's down there, I'd be like, now, see,
we got a problem.
Where's the contract at?
Exactly.
Let me go through this contract, make sure I can't get no money back from this guy. But where he was at, I'm like, yeah, go ahead and get those reps in.
Yeah, and that's, like, what are you supposed to do? LeBron's like, hey, you trying to play? What do you say? No. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
exactly, Casey Kurtz.
LeBron, I'm a pass.
LeBron
had a great year as a player. And he's already putting people out. He's taking the Western Conference one team at a time. He's like, Oklahoma City, they out of it now.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Picked up Pat Bev, gotta do what you gotta do. Take him out.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I think that, you know, it's one big soap opera. That's
really
what professional sports is. That's what the Lakers are. Yeah, it's one big soap opera. So, you know, eventually, I already saw the tweet talking about LeBron tweeting out basically a show of support for Westbrook. Like, I can't wait till he shows out on the court this season. And listen, the backstory, you know, Casey, you know about it. I'm sure plenty of people know about it with Westbrook getting injured from Pat Bev, you know, doing a dive when he was on OKC and Pat Beverly was on the Rockets, I believe. It's a lot of different. This is why you can talk crazy in the heat of the moment, but you can never just be like, never say never, right? Because Pat Beverly is going to be a guy
he's going to start
believe,
and he's going to play a lot.
And they are going to love him.
Yes.
And honestly, the chip on his shoulder with the energy that he plays with kind of reminds me of like a less talented Russell Westbrook in the sense of like the energy he plays with, not the skill set.
Why you
people
did him like that?
Not the skill set. Well, because like
this is Tim Jones all over again. It's too bad he's not fast.
And I know you ain't talking about wide receivers named Jones that you roast. Don't do that, Casey Kurtz.
That's fair.
I'll pull this clip, and
That's fair.
I know where the locker room's at now. I'd be like, hey, can you give me your opinion on this right here? Zay? But no, that's my point. I think that the people are going to love him. I don't know about Russ. I think Russ will just, get into fit in, at least in the beginning. But that's what you hear about Pat Beverly wherever he goes, right? He's annoying if he's not on your team, but if he's on your team, you love him. Because he's feisty, even if he, like he throws up, 8 points a game or something like that.
Yeah.
What he does defensively, what he does, boosting the energy of your team is something that you really can't replicate with most players in the league who may be more talented, all-star level or whatnot. So I think it'll work, kind of. And then we just got to see the goatness of LeBron. You know what I'm saying? You can't get too close. That's Chet Holmgren. Don't get too close to LeBron this season, okay? He's breaking all-time scoring records and injuring people's feet. Knock it off. Get off me.
He is doing both of those things.
Go!
I will say there are a couple wins better with Pat Bev. Like he's the type of player.
Two.
He's not.
But just two.
Like literally a couple. Because he doesn't score. Like he brings you a lot. Like don't get me wrong, they're better off having him than not, in my opinion. But we'll have to see how it plays out. Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690 Jumbo Shrimp Baseball coming up in just a bit. Brian Milton, what else do we have to do today? You got anything? You got anything set up for us or what?
Well, you got cash it or trash it.
Cash it or trash it.
In the break, I'll tell you some updates on some of the people that you'll be doing trivia with in the next coming weeks.
Okay.
Talk to a couple of people in the building, and
I'll take on all comers.
Hey, that's what I tell them, and I'm like, yo, be ready, get
Equal
your
opportunity.
mind right,
You know what I'm
especially
saying?
now that Casey had a week off to rest.
Yeah.
Because when you take on everybody, right, you get everybody's best shot. You know what I mean?
You do.
You get they don't have to go through the struggle of, okay, I just performed last week. I gotta do it again this week and then next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I'll share that update with you in the break.
I like it.
And but yeah, cash it or trash it. I think we got some good ones here.
We will get some cash it or trash it coming up. On the other side, though, let's talk about Aaron Donald.
Okay.
If you haven't seen the video on Twitter, if you're just jumping in your car, we appreciate it. If you're on the stream, we appreciate it as well. But if you haven't seen the video, a joint practice between the Bengals and the Rams got a bit out of hand, and it caused Aaron Donald to swing some helmets. And when I say some, I mean yes, double fisting Cincinnati Bengals helmets. We talk about it on the other side. Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690. We'll be right back.
For all the support on the Dream 18 cards, we sold out of Dream 18 cards, and we're raising more funds for local charities through the Dream 18. Coming up next, it's a Dream 18 golf tournament, September 19th at the Golf Club at Southampton. Registration is now open. We'd love you to be a part of it. Buy a foursome, or maybe just play on an individual basis. Maybe it's a tee sign. Get your company involved. Here's how you register. Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com. September 19th at the Golf Club of Southampton. Play on our Dream 18, Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Scattered to heavy storms into this evening. Some fog later tonight will drop into the low to mid 70s. A mix of clouds and sun for your Friday. Scattered heavy showers and thunderstorms will redevelop for at least some neighborhoods. Highs reach the upper 80s. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years zero-interest financing with nothing down.
Robert is a real Prevagen user and content contributor.
I am Robert Strickler. My wife Joyce and I have been married for 53 years. Certainly one of the really important things in my life are our children and our grandchildren. I am essentially a writer. I've been involved in communications in the media. I've been an avid fly fisherman for at least 40 or more years. I've been taking Prevagen for at least 8 years. For me, the greatest benefit over the years has been that Prevagen seems to help me recall things and also think more clearly, have a crisper ability to remember and think through things. And I enthusiastically recommend Prevagen. It has helped me an awful lot.
Prevagen, healthier brain, better life. Prevagen is available in stores everywhere. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired, this product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith.
Pro Football Hall of Famer and 3-time champion. Trust me, I know about joint pain.
Pro Football's all-time leading rusher Emmitt Smith talks about chronic joint pain and exciting new regenerative treatments from QC Kinetics.
I know what it's like to fight through pain, but now, you and I, we have help. QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced all-natural regenerative medicine that can give you lasting relief with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Do you suffer with constant pain from arthritis or injury? Pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or lower back? Don't assume steroids, pain meds, and surgery are your only options. Regenerative, restorative, natural solutions are now available.
Don't let your joint pain keep you from doing the things you love.
Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation and learn how regenerative medicine can repair and restore damaged joint tissue.
Make the call to QC Kinetics. Tell them Emmitt Smith sent you.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
Are you looking for a venue to celebrate your special occasion that guests can't stop talking about? Call Riverside North Special Events and Banquet Hall. We specialize in anniversaries, weddings, birthday parties, corporate meetings, family reunions, fundraisers, graduations, and funerals. This unique, all-inclusive, full-service venue is the way to go. Call us today at 354-4162 and let us book your next event. All proceeds from bookings benefit the Clara White Mission.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690, rolling along on a Thursday. The broadcast, Don, Brian Middleton on the ones and twos. Casey Kurtz with you as well, taking you up for about another half hour before Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. I think it stopped raining, and then I think it was raining a little bit during the first segment of the show. Unconfirmed, though, so I haven't heard anything. As far as I know, Jumbo Shrimp Baseball will get going on time, but we will keep you updated on that as we know about it. Talking about the Manti Te'o documentary in the commercial break, Brian Middleton has not seen it yet.
Yeah, I didn't want to relive the embarrassment. I mean, it was like, it was the craziest thing. I forgot about it until I heard about the documentary, of course.
Yeah,
right?
like it goes away.
But
like,
then,
yeah.
I remember being embarrassed for him, just being like, oh, man, catfish you like that, bro, like right before then. Like,
it's crazy. Like we talked about it the top of the show, me and Aaron, if you want to go back on the podcast, already posted Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, hour 1. Might be the only hour that gets posted today. I'm not going to lie to you. But it was good, man. Like, I won't spend too much time on it, but to understand, it was really good because he was very open about it. Like, it's not like he didn't want to do the documentary. Like, he was there. He answered the questions. So, like, you fully understand, like, how he got caught in this. It's still unbelievable. And there's a couple of things in there. Because, like, on the surface, how did he get catfished? It was a profile with, like, 14 pictures, right, on Facebook. So how does he get caught up in that? One.
Oh, boy.
But I'm not going to – Brian hasn't seen it yet. He said he might, so I'm not going to tell you.
I mean –
there's a couple of things that happen that you're like, holy cow, how did they pull that off? In terms of the catfish.
That Facebook catfishing was next level. Kids, that Facebook catfishing was next level. It's too easy to do it now.
I mean, here's what I'll tell you. The catfisher was playing 6 different characters at a time.
Had to.
Yeah.
Facebook, that –
It's incredible. It was truly incredible. So
wow, the
detail in this stuff is incredible. It's a good watch, and
you said that he was pretty open and honest about everything.
He was very open.
That's you know what, I can respect that so much.
Yeah.
That's so dope to me. Like to have to be such a public figure, and you got to remember how old he was, Casey.
That's the
he
good
was younger
point.
Than you at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And to have all of that on you and the expectations because he was, Notre Dame and they were supposed to be great and he was supposed to be
He finished second for the Heisman.
Yeah, and it was just like, you have all of this happening in your world and then you add this catfishing situation to it. I respect him for doing this. I mean, I hope he got his money for it or whoever did I hope he got a little bit of pay for it for bringing it back up. But
agree.
I may check it out.
Yeah, it's good. It's very open, which is cool about it. And then the one thing I will tell you is, imagine this. Play for Notre Dame. Notre Dame is Notre Dame. But you are 2 days away from playing the national championship, And that is when he found out that he was being catfished.
Yeah.
2 days before the national championship. Come
Boy.
on. You know?
Boy.
How do you focus? They got blown out. Don't get me wrong, Alabama.
of course.
By the way, they're
You know
showing
what
the
I mean.
highlights in the documentary of like Alabama, and
It's
it was
so petty.
I'm sure like the players were like T.J. Yeldon, Amari Cooper,
Wow.
Eddie Lacy. It was that team.
Wow,
If anybody
that's
was
right.
wondering. So it's a fascinating watch if you have Netflix. It's very good. Anyway, Brian Mills, Casey Kurtz, Action Sports Jacks. Overtime. Did you see the Aaron Donald video?
Yeah, in the break.
All right, I'll describe it the best I can for the people that haven't seen it, and don't use Twitter while you're driving, but it's not hard to find once you go on Twitter. There's a skirmish, a situation, a coming together of the Bengals and the Rams, who, by the way, why are they practicing together if they played against each other in the Super Bowl?
Hey, man.
You ever think about that?
They got some stuff that they got to get off their chest, man.
Well, apparently Aaron Donald had some stuff, even though he made the game-winning play in the Super Bowl. So the teams come together in the middle of the field, and next thing you know, you see helmets flying, and you can't really make out what's happening. And then you see big old 99 come out of the pile, double fisting Cincinnati Bengals helmets, and you say, oh, no. 99's Aaron Donald. And, then he's restrained as he, had considered going back in with the Bengals helmets. But we can't be doing this. Like, this is something. All right, on the surface, Brian, you just saw the video.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett, we remember that. That was in a game.
Yeah.
That was also one helmet. This is two. By the way, Bengals helmets, he plays for the Rams. So two people's helmets that he did not come to the field with. He wasn't using his and another. He took two and said, I'm swinging. Should there be a suspension for Aaron Donald because of this?
Listen, should there be? What is this on the table? Should there be? It's like a mini silverfish centipede. So should there be? Well, yeah, but only because there has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Look, preseason, practicing, anybody who's played any level above Pee-wee, and I'm talking about even middle school, you understand things get heated, right? Things just get heated. It happens. But you can't have a fight where you're actually taking helmets and swinging them as weapons, right? Because your intent
100%.
isn't just to be like, hey, I have the power to swing these helmets fast, and you know what? You may not want to get in the way of them. Your intention at the time, and I'm not jumping on Aaron Donald about this. I'm just saying this is the emotion that I know everybody who picks up a helmet, when people are pushing and shoving and you're in the midst of it, your idea is this: I am going to strike somebody with this helmet, which makes it a weapon, right? An illegal weapon, because you're playing football where you get to do all type of illegal things legally, meaning assault people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you start doing things where you're taking helmets and you're swinging them at people, granted, I don't have the full breadth of the story. I'm sure things were said. I'm sure things were done. I'm sure somebody said you cheated on that last play. That's why y'all got the rings and whatnot. I'm sure someone might even said something a bit further. Things happen on the field, the court, the baseball diamond. I'm sure. I don't know about the baseball diamond.
they do,
I'm just assuming. So, but you can't do this right here. Because if you do connect, then what? Aaron Donald is so, everybody on that field, down to the kickers, are so supremely strong that if they can pick up a helmet and they can make connection with you, and you just if you don't, watch this, Casey, even if you have your helmet on, right? But watch this. What if he doesn't connect with the helmet and he connects with something like your arm, something that doesn't have a pad or something?
Yeah.
You can't do it. So I'm not jumping on Aaron Donald in the sense of, oh, I can't believe he did that, right? Because emotions get high. They just do. You hear about fights all the time.
Yeah.
You hear about fights all the time. And this is another reason why I like hockey as well, man. I feel like
you can fight.
They legislate it in. They like go ahead and fight. They wait till you get tired or someone's getting their tail whooped, and then they're like, all right. You know what I mean? And it calms all that down.
Yeah.
But you can't do this. So if you're asking me, I'm like, yeah, something has to happen. A quarter, a half. I mean, I don't know what the suspension length should be, but you got to. You're like, you have to, because you can't have this being the precedent. Like, okay, it was just practice.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just okay. No. You got it. He's going to have to get something, a fine or something.
Yeah, there will be a suspension. I feel pretty confident to say. But yeah, you can't. And again, I'm gonna agree with what you say there. Like, tensions get high. Like, you get mad. Like, people get mad every day in everyday life. But you got to draw the line.
Yeah.
Like, you can't swing at people with your helmet on.
Yeah.
Like on the football field, again, things are acceptable than what happens at the Circle K. If I go to Circle K after the show, someone makes me mad, and I push them to the ground, that's not acceptable.
Yeah.
In football, on the field, you can. I mean, it's a penalty, but it's something that you can do. So you have to, in that situation, easier said than done, don't get me wrong, you got to go to the limit, and then you got to stop because we can't be swinging helmets because it's dangerous. And what if you connect with somebody helmet to bare head?
Yeah, because everybody
could
didn't have
kill
helmets
them.
on there. Yeah,
You
and
could kill them.
And one more time, Casey, I'm actually okay with fighting, and that might just be
okay.
That might just be that might be wrong by most people's thoughts, but I'm okay when those tensions get like me and you, we gonna duke it out for a little bit, right? Especially if we all got helmets and pads on. Like I'm okay with the fighting on the field. Like we let them fight like they do in hockey for about 15 seconds, 20 seconds.
Fair. I'll give you that.
And then break it up, and then someone try to pull them away, act like you're pulling them away. But yeah, you start pulling weapons and let me step on you while you're on the ground, where your head like no, there's boundaries to this. Okay. So
Yeah, it's interesting. Brian Middleton. I'm okay with fighting.
I'm okay with fighting. Pull the clip, make a quote.
Just not the helmets. We can't be swinging helmets, which I agree with. We'll have to see what happens with Aaron Donald. By the way, if you look at the stills, it's hard to see in the video because the video's far away. You can obviously see what's happening, but there's some like still photos of it, and there's all these players. And then you got like D-line coach who's a massive human. You got a wide receiver coach who's a massive human.
Yeah.
And then in the one still I saw, the little bottom left corner of the screen trying to get in on the action, Sean McVay. Not a big guy, wearing no pads. Sean McVay's like 4 feet away from Aaron Donald. He's like, I want it on the Heat.
Listen, Sean McVay said, I beat out, Calvin Johnson for Georgia High School Football Player of the Year back in like 2000. I don't know what year it was, but yeah. So listen, man. That man said, don't let it fool you. Don't let the 5 o'clock motto shadow fool you out here, man. I got these hands out here.
It's true.
But that was Aaron Donald around here swinging
Sean
helmets.
McVay wanted that smoke. That's what I'm saying. What if he accidentally hits his coach? Like, it's a crazy thing,
Them
man.
odds are going to go down. Vegas going to be like, okay.
Now, and there's so much off of this with a suspension there. Like, what happens? Aaron Donald, we didn't even know he's going to play this year. If it's a lengthy suspension, does he even come back? Like, there's so many storylines out there.
No lengthy suspension. Like, that'll get me upset, too. Like, let's not get crazy. It better not be 6. Not the way that you gave 6 to Deshaun Watson.
That's a good point.
You better not. It better be like half a quarter, now that I think about it.
We'll see. And only time will tell. We're going to find out as we find out. Action Sports Jax Overtime, ESPN 690. Cash it or trash it. Coming up next.
Make this the summer event. There's still time left to take advantage of our summer savings event at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Arlington. If you need a really great pickup truck for work or play, we've got it. Choose a new Ram 1500 Bighorn and get the right one for you. Drive a new Charger or Challenger. Our lenders are standing by to make you a new car loan, perfect credit or not. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Arlington, 9600 Atlantic Boulevard, across from that Regency Square Mall.
These days, we could all use a break. So join the American Heart Association for the 2022 First Coast Heart Walk, Saturday, September 10th at the Jacksonville Fairgrounds. We'll be sharing fun activities on social media leading up to the Heart Walk so we can all stay healthy at home and build a healthier First Coast. Reclaim your rhythm by registering at firstcoastheartwalk.org and follow the fun online with the hashtag First Coast Heart Walk. Let's get heart walking.
Tobacco-Free Florida knows how hard it is to quit nicotine, which is why we offer different quit options to choose from for free, like 24/7 quit coaches available over the phone and free 2-week starter kits of quit aids. We're even experimenting with 80s pop music.
I'm giving you up, giving you up, giving you up. I'm letting you never come back to smoke. I'll never come back to smoke. I'll never come back. I'm giving you up.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
There are 16 spots in the playoffs and just one track left. Well, not just any track. Daytona. A last chance to keep playoff hopes alive and for fans to experience an event unlike any other. Scar Weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 26th and 27th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Hurricane season is here, and now is the time to make a plan and secure your home. Take inventory of your home's hurricane preparedness kit. Don't forget about your pets. Even if you evacuate, secure your home's windows and doors from the storm. Being prepared helps protect your family and home. This hurricane season, don't delay. Make a plan today. Know your zone, know your home. Learn more at floridadisaster.org. This message is sponsored by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Did you know that you have the power to positively impact a local child's life? It's as easy as donating to Daniel, Florida's oldest child service agency. Daniel provides counseling to abused children. Daniel helps homeless teens find shelter and learn to live independently. Daniel connects kids with foster families and strengthens at-risk families so they can stay together. They've done all this and more for 135 years. Please become a part of improving the lives of local children and families by donating at danielkids.org today.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690. Brian Middleton, the broadcast on the ones and twos. Casey Kurtz with you as well on a Thursday. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball coming up in about 20 minutes time, but it's time, Brian Middleton, for Cash It or Trash It.
Cash it or trash it.
Tell them to bring me my money.
On Action Sports Jacks Overtime.
What do we got?
I cut out a little earlier. Okay, what do we have, Casey Kurtz?
I don't need the rules.
Okay, because you know the order of things that I do around here. I'm always like, do you need the...
Yeah, I don't need the rules.
Okay, well,
I feel pretty good about my... If you're new here, you'll just follow along.
You just follow along.
It's not that difficult, to be honest. You can play along at home or in the car.
Yeah, starting off with Major League Baseball, AL East, New York Yankees, Casey Kurtz. Yankees lefty Nestor Cortez is being placed on the injured list with a groin injury.
Nasty Nestor.
That was confirmed today. Cash it or trash it. You having such a hatred of all things Yankees now feel vindicated on your unbelief of the team as they continue to struggle as we head into September.
Trash it.
Oh, okay, that threw me off right there.
Yeah, Nestor getting hurt doesn't have much to do with any of that because I still think even if he was there, I'd say the same things. They're struggling. The hate is still there. Nestor getting hurt, it's unlucky. I feel bad for the guy. He's having a great year. But, it doesn't really impact how I feel about the Yankees. I thought at some point he would come off of, being great, which he has. He's been good. He's been okay, right? Since the All-Star break and all that. He's been all right. But he hasn't been the first half. So, they lose him. You know, it's a guy they lose that can pitch 6 innings every 5 days and give you a chance to win. But... it's not a world-shaking move for me. It's unlucky, no doubt. I still think they played their best baseball already this year. That's how I feel about them.
They got hot too soon.
They did, and their pitching isn't going to hold up. I've said that the whole time. Pull clips for months and months and months, and look what's happening. The pitching's not holding up.
You look intelligent right now.
I
Casey
do,
Kurtz.
and then they're going to win the World Series. I'm going to be like, well.
Who's going further, Yankees or Mets? I know based off everything you just said, I just want to hear you say it so we can get it down on paper.
The Metropolitans. We'll go farther. Okay. The New York Mets.
Next up, Casey Kurtz. Okay, let me preface this with the same disclaimer as last week, okay? We here at Overtime don't advocate infidelity. Okay. And also black men don't cheat, okay?
Correct.
But this next one is from City... Okay.
Tell them to bring me my money.
There you go. Good job. Brownie points. All right. This next one, though, is from City Boys Twitter. All right. I actually had this one for a couple of weeks, and I found it when I was clearing out my phone.
Yep.
So here we go. This is a tweet from Soup in the Ring. All right.
Soup in the
She
rain.
says, quote, a few years ago, my boyfriend cheated on me on my birthday. And his defense was, I didn't even bleeping know it was your birthday. Cash it or trash it, Casey Lamont Kurtz. This boyfriend has a point. He has a point. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying he has a point, though. That's solid.
No, it's not solid.
He said I'm a cheater. I'm not a terrible evil person. I'm just a cheater, right? I wouldn't have been on your birthday if I knew it was your birthday.
Oh, when you put it that way.
Cash it or trash it, Casey Kurtz.
Jay,
For your defense, Casey Kurtz.
You can cash it.
There you go.
Tell him to bring me my money.
He didn't know. Like, here's the thing. Here's what we're not privy to know in this situation. How long they've been together?
Yeah, I know.
They've been together a month and a half. How should he have known? Right? They've been together 18 years.
Yeah.
Then you know what? I might trash it.
Might. That's a might, by the way. There's a lot of things on your plate after 18 years in a relationship.
Right? There's a lot of information we don't know there. So, like, was he in the wrong? Yeah. Did he make the best move? Probably not.
By the way, I met somebody who has been married for 33 years in a row today, Casey Kurtz.
Really?
Holy smokes.
I think my parents have been
Tell him
married
to
a long
bring me
time.
my money.
Really? 33 years? Oh, they waited to get to you, man.
They did. It's true. Let me text. I'll text my mom. I'll get that number for you. She'll reply. If she's listening, she could just straight up text me. But if she's not, I'll get that number for you. My grandparents have been married longer. I know that. My grandparents have been married for. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna stop.
My grandparents actually were married for a long time too.
I know the
That's how I
answer,
get you.
but
You
if
do.
I do that,
Then you're gonna age
because it's. I know because my mom. They had my mom like the year after they got married, so it's my mom's age plus one.
Okay.
And I don't want to, I'm not gonna put my mom out there like that. They were married a long time.
Next up.
Yeah, please. Please help me.
Two of the top guys from this deep rookie wide receiver class would be the Saints' Chris Olave and the Falcons' Drake London.
Oh, yeah.
Cash it or trash it, barring injury, London will have more TD receptions this season than Olave.
Trash it.
There you go. Some honesty finally.
Yeah, I know. It's the right answer. Like, Jameis, if there's two things we know about Jameis, he gonna let it fly.
Yeah.
He's gonna throw touchdowns to both teams.
Yep.
So Chris Olave is gonna get his fair share of touchdowns. So is the rest of the corners in his division.
I love the way you put that.
But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Marcus Mariota could throw anyway. Like, to be honest, Marcus Mariota could throw 8 to 13 touchdowns. I'd be like, yeah, I'm not surprised. They run for some. Like, and Kyle Pitts has to get his share because Kyle Pitts is an animal.
Yes.
So if Marcus Mariota's throwing for 20, Kyle Pitts is getting 8 of those.
Okay.
Like, I'd like to believe Drake London's getting 10 of those, but he is still a rookie. And they have nothing else at wide receiver, so he's going to be locked with cornerback number 1. So he's going to struggle. So, yeah, I'll go to Chris Olave, high-flying offense, even though I love Drake London. By the way, Brian Milton, my parents have been married 36 years.
Holy smokes. Tell him to bring me my money. Huh? Tell him to write a book in a row. Ask her in a row. Asking for a friend. Did they take a break? Can you take a timeout from marriage? 36 years in a row.
I will text asking for a friend, comma, 36
Steph
in a row.
Curry's of marriage. Goodness gracious. And while you're doing that, I'm going to the next one, okay?
Yes.
From the world of TikTok, a viral video
Of course.
by Daddy Rhea 12 sparked a debate on water cup etiquette, okay?
Water cup etiquette?
Water cup etiquette, okay,
Alright.
where in the video she basically says she doesn't care when customers ask for a water cup at her place of work if they only get water or if they do something else with it, like get a soda or something like that, okay? Cash it or trash it. Using a water cup at a fast food restaurant for soda, lemonade, tea, etc. is not only acceptable, it's understood that's the way things go in the streets.
Cash it.
There you go, Casey.
Tell him to bring me my money.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that's always got me confused about this. I used to work at I wouldn't say restaurant. I worked at Auntie Anne's Pretzels. Are you familiar? Serve food, right?
I'm not, yeah. Oh, the happiness that must have brought you.
My mom said pretty much, so now I'm really confused.
Holy smokes, guys.
Anyway, we'll get back to that later. So like when I used to work at the Auntie Anne's Pretzels, I'm like, can I get a water cup? Sure. Like, but what, as the employee, if I were there at the Auntie Anne's Pretzels, someone got the water cup and they filled it up with lemonade, what do I care? You know what I mean? Like, I'm the employee. I'm not the owner of the store.
Don't come out my pocket.
I'm making minimum wage as a senior in high school. My only goal is to go home and play FIFA. right?
$9.25. That's it. That's all I got for you.
I'm just trying to pay for gas so I can do other things, right? That's what I'm doing at the
It's
Antietam
a means
Pretzels.
to an end, man.
So, just coming from me, it might be a bad employee. I don't know. But if anybody's the employee that's not the owner or like the manager of the store, why are you calling people out? You know?
Yeah.
Like you give them the water cup, they're going to put something in it. It's fine.
That's exactly what she was saying.
The only thing that changes is I have to replace the bag of soda or the bag of drink.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
if you worked in like a, you know that it's in a bag. I got to replace it maybe sooner than I would have, which is fine because that's like an hour-and-a-half procedure if you replace them all. Or at least it was for me because I was a bad employee, and that takes time where I don't have to deal with customers.
There you go.
So it's a win-win either way. So yeah, unless if I was in charge, maybe I'd feel differently. But as far as I see it as the employee, man, just fill it up with whatever you got.
All right. Next up, Casey Kurtz, from the Cannon baby roster files, all right? Nicholas Cannon, a.k.a. the Black Casey Kurtz, announced that he will be welcoming his 9th kid into the world. Now, Casey, I promise that we just talked about Nick Cannon
I think we did.
welcoming a kid into the world a couple of months ago.
It was definitely not 9 months ago, by the way.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Cash it or trash it, Nick Cannon is an absolute menace.
Good, cash it.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Yeah, Nick Cannon is doing something that most people cannot, and it's just this. Just if you like, there are so many things that Nick Cannon can do that we and most people have not. He's been on television.
Yeah.
He has Wild and Out, which
Yeah.
has become a huge thing, and now tours. You can see Wild and Out live.
Yeah.
He's been in movies. Been in TV. I just said that. America's Got Talent, I think he hosted for a bit. He hosted some
rapped,
show.
maybe?
He
Kinda,
rapped.
You know?
He's done so many things that we people, most of us like me and you, cannot do.
Whoa, first of all, okay, don't put me into this, Casey Kurtz.
Man, you cannot be
All
on
right.
TV, radio, rap, and have 10 kids. That's the point I'm getting at.
Yeah, not the 10
Add
kids,
the
you're
10
right.
kids.
Yeah.
That's a...
That's
Even
people
if we
get 10.
tried. And Nick Cannon's like, light work. However,
nothing.
I'm only 50. The way this goes, I'm on pace for 20.
I'm not stopping.
I'm not stopping.
That's why he's the GOAT.
That's why Nick Cannon is the GOAT. Truly. Nick Cannon is built different. Like, there's no other way to put it. Nick Cannon is built different.
Yeah. All right, Casey. We got one more, okay?
Let's do it.
All right, an article in Mind Body Green was giving some of the most popular first date ideas, okay?
Yeah.
One included picking fruit. Cash it or trash it, Casey Kurtz.
Picking fruit?
Your first date with your now wife Amanda was better than fruit picking.
Okay, this is a good one. Cash it.
Okay.
Tell them to bring me my money.
We don't have time for this whole story.
Okay.
But for me, it was because we went to a Rays Red Sox game. For Amanda, it wasn't because going on a date with Amanda, I was nervous. I didn't know what I was doing. I had been on dates before. Don't get me wrong, but I actually liked it. I actually liked Amanda.
The white Nick Cannon over here.
I actually liked Amanda, so I was nervous. And we went to a Rays game and went 15 innings. I had not offered to buy Amanda nothing to drink or eat for all
There
15
you go.
innings. Yeah.
That's why you the GOAT.
And long story short, folks,
And look
we
at
got
you.
married in March.
Uh-huh.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, picking fruit. That's horrible.
He said, be hungry and thirsty, okay?
I really
Thirst
did.
for me, hunger for your man.
There we go. It worked out, I guess. I would not recommend it, though, but it did work out. That's Sports Jacks Overtime. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball coming up next. We talk to the guys right after this.
You might hear that interest rates are going up, but not at Beard's Diamonds.
Beard's Diamonds' incredible 0% financing is back for a limited time.
Shop the biggest inventory in North Florida
And get 0% financing store-wide for 5 years on anything and everything.
How about a $6,000 designer setting?
You pay just $100 a month.
Or a $2,500 pair of diamond studs?
You pay less than $42 a month.
Just spread your payments out over 60 months.
Shop and now purchase online at beardsdiamonds.com.
How about a GIA certified diamond with a Tacori or Veragio setting for $12,000?
You pay just $200 a month.
Beard's Diamonds will never be beat on price. And now get 0% financing store-wide.
Pick out that one-of-a-kind piece, then divide your total by 60, and that's what you pay a month.
Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center. Or shop and purchase online now at beardsdiamonds.com.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You've got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 121fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
In Florida, it's not if the storms are coming, it's when the storms are coming. And that's why you need the Chief. Jacksonville's chief meteorologist, Mike Burrish, with a proven track record of keeping local families safe. Rain, heat, hurricanes, flooding, tornadoes. We get it all. Just more reasons why you need the Chief. Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish, backed by the First Alert Weather Team. Only on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
This is Paul Gray, founder of Gray Matter Distillery, inviting you to check out the new home of Jacksonville's first craft distillery in beautiful Atlantic Beach. Since 2014, we have been the proud distillers of such iconic local spirits as Carr Vodka and Live Oak Whiskey. In our new distillery, you can enjoy one of our handcrafted cocktails made using only the freshest ingredients for only $8 a drink. Enjoy a cocktail, sample small batches of vodka or whiskey, or take a bottle home. Pick up your very own Gray Matter Distillery shot glass for free when you mention this ad. Come see us this weekend, and remember to please drink responsibly.
Hey, it's Brett Mortno from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Couple minutes ago, Action Sports Jax Overtime, ESPN 690. Brian Middleton, the broadcast on the ones and twos. Casey Kurtz with you as well for another couple of minutes as we head down to the stadium, 121 Financial Ballpark. Matt Davis, Scott Kornberg. What's the rain situation, gentlemen? We playing baseball on time or what?
Yeah, I think so. That's good, right?
It's great. Here's why I didn't know, because I started the show in here, and we've covered all the windows because apparently we're vampires, and I heard it raining, and then it stopped, so I was concerned, but I never got a text from you guys, so I guess we're good to go.
Yeah. Why do you cover the windows? It's weird.
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't have the answer.
They said they were vampires, that's why.
Yeah, it was not a me decision. It was an Aaron Schachter decision. I think you guys know him. But, yeah we're kind of just stuck in the dark in here. But nonetheless, what do we got coming up tonight with the Shrimp? Is it true? I think I saw this because you guys tweeted it. Trevor Rogers again on the mound for the Shrimp?
Yes, it is. His second rehab assignment, and I'm sure he's looking to perform a little bit better. He had a couple of swings and misses, but Nashville definitely tagged him for a lot, and hopefully he'll bounce back. But it'll be another tough test. The Norfolk Tides are no joke. I mean, they sit 10 games under 500, but Scott and I were talking about it yesterday. Top to bottom, it is a talented roster, and it's kind of shocking to see them underperforming with guys like Gunnar Henderson, Jordan Westberg, even Jacob Nottingham, and Kelvin Gutierrez hit a 2-run home run yesterday. Brett Phillips has come to the Tides. I know he came a little bit later, but top to bottom, these guys are competitive, and it's shocking to see them sitting where they are currently.
Hey, just to kind of swing back to that, Gunnar Henderson still on the Tides, huh? Remember that from the other day, guys?
Yeah, no more fan accounts tweeting that he's up with the Baltimore Orioles. That was kind of interesting.
Well, we can only hope. We can only hope. But
right.
Anyway, nonetheless, sounds like a good one set up for you guys, and most importantly, it's going to be on time. Scott Kornberg, Matt Davis, have a good call. Gentlemen, the Shrimp and the Tides coming up right now on ESPN 690.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. And Casey, we will get you the pregame show with Matt Davis next on the Jumbo Shrimp Network.